Welcome back to Demented Cast. I am your host, the Nomad Gamer. Joined, as always, with me is Aaron, ADP Sketches, as you know him online. We're back again with another episode. It's a little bit later. Because of Summer Games Fest, State of Play, and a Witcher 4 tech demo, we decided to hold off 1 week, and then the next week things got crazy. But we're here now. We're back. All I got for my real opening statement is make sure, once again, rate us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It really does help us out because it helps us grow and show that there is like an audience, so we get pushed through that algorithm more. But Aaron, what's your opening statements for this episode of Demented Cast?
Oh man, it's been a crazy 2 weeks. Like every time we're about to record, there's always like something crazy. Somebody drops something or a trailer drops. It's always something. So I'm glad that we took time and actually took a look at this because man, we got a lot to talk about in this episode.
There's a lot of good, bad, and very ugly. But I think the only ugly is music related, thankfully. Most of the
Oh
gaming
yeah,
shit is. Listen, there are only like 2 things in the last 2 weeks that happened as a gamer that like are ugly for you, and honestly, you should have expected both. Should have expected both. But opening conversations, I did start Doom: The Dark Ages. I started it on stream. I played for about 2 hours. Did the first 4 chapters. It's a solid entry to the Doom franchise. I didn't really get to play Doom Eternal. I think I only played like an hour of it. I had a pretty crappy PC back then, and I didn't have an Xbox, so the only way I could play it was on PC Game Pass. So, from what I remember of Doom Eternal and what I'm remembering from Doom 2016, this one just feels, as of right now, a little bit slower pace. It's not. I'm not getting. I'm not always getting that same like epic kill or like. It's hard to. It's hard to say. Like, there's just something about it where it doesn't. My kills don't always feel as impactful as they do in the previous Doom games. But so far, it's really cool. Visually, this game is stunning. It's one of the best looking games of the year. Um, and the story's interesting. I'm intrigued to see where it goes. I need to get back into it. Not gonna lie, Claire Obscure had me in such a chokehold that I was playing nothing else but Claire Obscure for like the last 2 weeks almost. And then once I beat that, I need a palate cleanser because that game just took it a lot out of me. So I took a palate cleanser. I got back on the Marvel Rivals grind. Um, are you interested in the new Doom at all, or is that a game that you think you're gonna pick up and try?
yeah. I'm actually interested in the Doom game. It seems kind of fun. It seems like a bloody good time.
Bloody good time. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'll get back to it eventually and beat it. It seems like a short game. I think it's only like 21 chapters. The first 4 aren't very long at all, and they give you a good taste and variety of like what this game has to offer versus the previous ones. As of right now, I it's a solid game, especially if you have Game Pass, because Lord knows I don't have the money to be buying $70 games every fucking 2 weeks. So if you have Game Pass, I definitely highly recommend downloading and giving it a try yourself. Um, but moving on uh, to another short little topic, Marvel and DC are joining forces again after 20 years with the most unlikely of duos. It's a Deadpool and Batman crossover. It'll be coming out. I believe the first issue is going to be on Marvel's side in October,
Yeah, with
and then the
September.
second one is on DC's side with in November. But go ahead, you were saying.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited about the project. This one seems like it's got a whole lot in the tank.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. It's really cool to see DC and Marvel kind of teaming up again on the comic books front. Hopefully, this just is echo for more to come down the road because Give me a Spider-Man Nightwing crossover, please. I yearned for a Spider-Man Nightwing crossover. But staying on the comic book front, hey, Aaron, how do you feel about the new ruler of Wakanda?
That's not canon, but I'm gonna let Christopher Priest cook. It's probably a misdirection. I'm not going to make a big deal of it about it. It's actually it's a comic book story. It's not canon. It's just a fun little story. So I'm not going to trip on that. But the Ryan
uh,
Gosling one is pretty funny.
you don't think T'Challa should ask for a DNA test?
We already know. We already know. It's written by Christopher Priest, so we already know that's his kid.
uh, I'm just saying that. I saw a lot of people using the clip of whose goddamn white baby is that for this. But yeah, if you didn't see, people have been memeing for weeks because in a side story for Black Panther that's happening at the same time. There's two, I think, Black Panther stories happening. One in the main continuity and another side story, which this one is T'Challa is older and his son shows up, and his son has like the whitest skin and blondest hair and beat him in a trial by combat to win the
I
throne
mean,
of
it,
Wakanda.
it's drawn by Joe Quesada, so I already expected what it was. So
Yeah, the memes are pretty great. Marvel, don't take this as heart that you can cast Ryan Gosling as a white Black Panther. Please. I know some of you Marvel execs in the film front kind of need help sometimes. So don't think this is a this is a go ahead. Um, Last thing though I have on these opening conversations, pretty short and brief ones. Uh, we got a tech demo in Unreal Engine 5 set in the world of The Witcher 4. It's the first time we're really getting to see The Witcher 4. And although it is a tech demo, because I've seen a lot of people go, oh, it's just a tech demo, it's not going to look anything like this, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, did we as a society let the launch of Cyberpunk 2077 just make us blind and forget that this is CD Projekt Red we are talking about? Like, these are the guys who every single time they drop a game, they push the needle forward in what they can do in just game design, world design, and graphical fidelity. Like, they're always pushing that fucking needle forward. And as much as like I will give Rockstar shit for some of their game design choices, they're another studio that does it. And like I feel like gamers have just gotten dumber over the years and think that like this isn't a testament to what CDPR is cooking behind the screen and what we're gonna see for the actual Witcher 4. Because that tech demo, I don't know if you watched all of it, Aaron, but that shit was some of the most impressive thing I've ever seen. That world, and when they zoomed in to the like horse, because they were showing like the way the muscles interact on the horse, and like they did the little like X-ray to show as if they were looking at a real horse. Just that, and like showing the fur on the horse zoomed like up close, everything looks so impressive. The shine from the sunlight hitting the horse's body, the way the grass moved in the wind, the crowd density when they got to the village, everything about it was super fucking impressive. And the amount of people they were able to put on screen at one time, like, oh, so fucking impressive. But what are your thoughts on that Witcher 4 tech demo?
Oh, The Witcher 4, it looks amazing. I'm really excited to see what the studio is going to take it. Hopefully, it will not be a buggy mess. Hopefully, they will take their time with this one. Not too much time, though. Not as much time as they took with Cyberpunk. I think the development cycle of that game is kind of insane. So, hopefully, the development cycle in this game will be a little bit easier. Hopefully, there'll be cool new mechanics, etc., etc.
Yeah. Yeah, they, and like people from CDPR that were there, they were just talking about how much easier things have been to create, and the new like techniques they can use to make things render even farther away, and like and take less time to render those things, while also maximizing the performance they can get out of someone's PC. And all this tech demo was running on was a base PS5 too. And I think that's what is the most impressive thing about it, that you were able to get something that looked like that with that level of fidelity and crowd density and get it to run on a base PS5 is by far the most impressive part about it all. Makes me super excited. Can't wait to see more of The Witcher 4. We love Ciri. We love Ciri on this podcast. Fuck anybody who wants to disrespect her. That's our goat. But yeah, moving on to our gaming section of the show. We got a lot to talk about, because we had 3 different presentations happen in the last 2 weeks. We had a State of Play happen, we had a Summer Games Fest, and we had an Xbox Showcase. All of them were great. I'm actually really glad we waited to do the episode so I could actually let the State of Play marinate a little longer, because originally I wasn't feeling it. But as I took a step back, took a few days to really think on it, I have 6-7 games here that I'm actually interested in, that I want to keep an eye on. But before we get
events give
no, go ahead.
These events give these events kind of give us the old school feeling of E3. So I'm kind of glad that we waited. I'm pretty hype. Let's talk about the games, man. What are your picks from all 3 events?
So before we get into the fun side, I got some bad news for you, Aaron.
Oh Lord.
EA has done it again. They announced, if you don't remember, they announced a Wonder Woman game years and years ago. Never saw anything. Then this year we found out a couple months ago that it was getting canceled. Well, they did something similar.
Yep.
They announced a Black Panther game coming from Cliffhanger Games.
Yeah,
and
I was pretty hyped for that.
This was not to be confused with the other Black Panther Captain America game that we're getting from, I'd have to look it up again. I don't remember what studio's doing it. But that's not to be confused with this one. This was its own Black Panther game set in Wakanda. It was said to have Shuri, T'Challa, and Killmonger all be playable characters in this game. EA has unfortunately canceled that game and closed Cliffhanger Games entirely, which
wow, a whole studio closing. That's a huge waste of money right there.
Yeah. And at first, when I first saw the news, I just thought it was EA being EA again, being super greedy and just, you're wasting our money. We don't want to pay for this anymore. Fuck it. Because you got to think, you're not only paying to fund the development cost of the game while it's being developed and all that, but you're also paying the Marvel licensing to get Black Panther in a game. Well, it's a little more gray, because apparently from, I think it might have been a Bloomberg article, the studio Cliffhanger Games had been working on this game for 4 years, and they had just made their first round of, so they have 4 rounds basically in their pre-production stage, and they had just made it, finish that first round. And so for 4 years, they hadn't even gotten anywhere close to being done with the pre-production phase. That's a lot of money to be throwing at a studio that hasn't even reached it out of pre-production in your 4 years. You should be 4 years into your development cycle. 4 or 5, sometimes even 6 years. That's a standard development cycle for a video game. And for this to not even make it out of there yet is insane. So I kind of understand why they canceled the game, but it still sucks that they shut down the entire studio. That's so many jobs lost, especially when we've had studios in the gaming industry just closing left and fucking right in the past year to 2 years. And so to see another one gone where people are just losing their jobs, especially with the world the way it is, everything's so expensive. I hope the best for those developers. I hope they get on their feet and rocking and rolling again, somewhere else. Sucks we will never see this game, but it sounds like they really didn't even, they were trying to build something too ambitious, and they just couldn't get that idea on paper. The other thing about it too was they were trying to build their own version of the Nemesis system from the Shadow of Mordor and Shadow War games, which if you remember, WB has the patent. So I'm kind of interested to see how they were trying to maneuver around that, because I doubt EA paid WB the licensing for the Nemesis. But apparently this Black Panther game was supposed to have a version of that Nemesis system in the game. But like I said, they didn't even make it. They just made it out of that first phase in pre-production. So who knows?
Yeah, didn't the storyboards leaked out? Like it was supposed to have like scrolls and Killmonger and all that stuff.
Yes, yeah. Part of the storyboard did leak. I do remember hearing about that. Yeah, scrolls were supposed to be involved. Killmonger was supposed to be involved in the story. You're supposed to have like choices, so it's supposed to have like RPG elements. It sounded really cool, but it just sounded like they had all these things thrown at the board that they wanted to do in the game, but couldn't figure out how to get there. So, unfortunate. It happens though. The nice thing is though, on this episode, that's all the sad gaming news I have for you. Now we just get to talk about games that we're excited for. Like, I think that's my favorite part about the summertime being a gamer, is just like, doing this podcast around the time it was like, back then it was E3, now it's Summer Games Fest, Xbox Showcase, and State of Play. Now it's just like, it's not even so much talking about news articles, it's just, this game I'm interested in, this one looks cool, move. The first one that I have on my list here is a game called Pragmata. It's been in development for a while. It's from Capcom, I believe. It's got this future sci-fi space kind of deal, where the guy has a little girl like that sits on his back. She has like these strange superpowers or whatever. And it gave me almost like BioShock Infinite vibes from it. I don't know. What are you thinking of Pragmata? It's cool that we actually saw it, because like I said, this game's been in development hell and like just been talked about for so long that it's cool to finally see it. What were your thoughts though on Pragmata?
I think that the game looks pretty good, but I need to play for it for myself, because you can have a nice trailer and all, but until it's in a person's hands, it could be like the next No Man's Sky, where the launch was just terrible and not fun to play with, and then it gets good later on. We never know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, you think it's a... you think it's a mind's eye? You think we'll get it and it's gonna be melting faces, crashing?
Oh man, that was. Oh man, I feel bad for all the people that had to work overtime to finish that game.
That game just, from the get-go, that game just sounded like it was gonna be too much. Like, and then the game director just has like the most insecure incel-ass like comments about gamers. Like,
guys, we had some minor technical difficulties.
So yeah, Pragmata looks really good. I'm interested. Capcom actually, now that I'm like thinking about it, and we're doing this episode talking about these showcases, Capcom had a pretty big presence this summer. Like, they had Pragmata, the one we're about to talk about, which is Onimusha, the new Onimusha game, which, I'll just say it, I have never played an Onimusha game once. This shit looks gas. I cannot wait to get my hands on this game. Graphically, it looks...
I think it's one of the few
Go ahead.
I think it's are they using the Resident Evil system?
Oh, the engine? I'm not entirely sure. I doubt it. It
Because
doesn't
it
look.
looks real good.
It doesn't look like that engine, but it looks incredible. I'd be interested. There's no way they're using their engine from Monster Hunter. Yeah, I'd be curious to
Regardless
know.
of what engine they use, it looks amazing.
Yeah, combat looks really quick, fluid. Um, I'm interested. Have you ever played an Onimusha?
Way back in the day, I only played Onimusha 2. I haven't played 3.
Gotcha.
I
What
kind of
could
skipped over
you?
3, and then I watched the anime on Netflix.
Gotcha. What could you say to somebody who's never touched an Onimusha? Like, what style of game is this? Because it looks like, to
It
me,
is
just looking at it, looks like a like linear kind of just hack and slash action game.
okay. The real answer to that is imagine old school Resident Evil, but with samurais. That is it. Old school Resident Evil. Like I'm talking about Resident Evil, original Resident Evil 2 and Code Veronica. And with that gameplay, and that's what Onimusha is. Just that with swords.
Interesting. Okay. Huh. I I'm like
Oh, you got to pause from that.
I'm like trying to imagine that now because I'm also watching the gameplay for this one and like I'm seeing there's a lot of dodging, there's parrying, but it also looks like there's a lot of skills too. So I wanna see what that skill set like. I'm imagining there's gonna be some type of skill tree here. I want to know, is this game gonna have a perfect dodge and a perfect parry? Because if it's got perfect dodge and perfect parry, that's a recipe for me having fun.
Yes, so
Any
that's
game
the
that has
main
a
thing.
perfect dodge and parry, I will eat up.
Yes. Um, so the remake, they're definitely overhauling a lot. So I know it's definitely not going to play like old school Resident Evil. I think it will be more not open world, but more sandboxy. That's the perfect word for it.
Okay. The little bit of levels it did show in the trailer, it looks like it won't be necessarily open world, but it looks like it might give you just enough room in each like chapter of the game. Like each area you go, you'll have just enough to explore. Like there's just enough in that area for you to kind of walk around and explore before moving on.
Probably a lot of backtracking too.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of backtracking. But yeah, I'm excited for Onimusha. I can't wait to get my hands on it. I think it looks fucking cool. One of the standouts from this presentation. Mind you, these were all, I don't know if I said it, these were all the State of Play presentations. What we'll do is we'll go from State of Play to the Summer Games Fest, then to the Xbox Showcase. Do it in order for how we got them a couple weeks ago. But the next game that I kind of put on the notes here that I thought both of us might really agree on here is that Bloodstained, the Scarlet Engagement. That one looked really cool to me. I believe this is the kind of like, it's the 2D, 3D style, like platformer, like action platformer. Just looks like something I think looks really cool and I kind of want to try out. And it's got like dark fantasy elements. There's a lot of really cool monster designs and stuff. There's a lot of different powers that you see in the trailer. And then there's obviously also at one point in the trailer, one of the chicks looks like a Bloodborne boss with that eye patch and shit.
It's got crazy demon designs. Just wait till you see the Queen Bug from the first one.
Oh, is this a sequel?
The Gooners are gonna love that one. No. This is
Oh.
it's a remake, but
Oh, it's a remake.
One, there's this yeah, it's a remake. So it is. There's a boss in the game in which a lot of people, are thirsty for. So I can't imagine what it will look like in the remake.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Um,
That's why I mentioned Resident Evil 1 because the original played
oh,
exclusive.
you're talking about Onimusha. Oh, I was talking about the Bloodstained, the Scarlet Engagement.
Oh,
That
Bloodstained.
like,
Okay,
yeah,
let me
that
go
like
back to that.
side scroller.
Yeah, side scroll. So that plays like Castlevania. Like,
Yeah,
it
that's what it
reminds me
is.
a
It
lot.
gives me Castlevania vibes. That's what it is.
There we go. See that? My Unc Brain saved the day today.
Yeah, it gives me big Castlevania vibes. It looks really cool. I'm always a fan of these kind of like side scrollers if they're done well. They have to, like that's a big thing. Um, your movement system and everything, and especially if you're adding these like hardcore like action elements into your side scroller, that movement needs to be on point. Like movement is like the biggest thing for any type of platforming game. So it looks really cool. I'm interested to see like the different kind of powers and if um, you can kind of combo those powers and how that works and everything. And then again, just that world design of this game. The world design looks so incredible. It's giving me a lot of inspiration for later chapters of my book. Actually, when we get into the like hardcore fantasy side of my book, so I'm excited.
Ooh.
This one though isn't coming out until 2026, which sucks. So we got some time. Um, I shouldn't even say it sucks. We got so many games coming out this year, Aaron, that like we could wait. We could wait. There's a lot. Um, there is one. I don't know if you remember it. It's got a really cool art style. It's very colorful and vibrant. Reminds me of your art because of how colorful and vibrant your art always is. It's called Tides of Tomorrow. It's this online style game where like other players, their choices affect your story while you're going through it, and then vice versa. So the choices you make in your story will affect somebody else's story. And like,
Ooh, that's gonna be crazy. We when that game comes out, we definitely gotta stream that. That's
yeah,
gonna be
we are definitely gonna be on this. This one looks really cool. It looks ambitious. I've never seen anything quite like this before. Um, the world is really cool. Where like you're in the middle of an ocean on this like island of sorts, but everything is like a junkyard, and so like there's old shipping containers that are used for buildings and like alleyways and cutoffs and stuff. And I'm so fascinated on what this game actually is and how that whole angle of it's a multiplayer story. So like other players, their actions affect your time going through the game. I really just I want to understand how that's gonna work because that just sounds so ambitious and like it could cause some issues like performance wise.
yeah,
But it's called
like
Tides of Tomorrow. It's
uh,
coming out February next year. Super excited for it.
that's
Um,
actually pretty soon.
yeah, super soon. It's competing in February though. It's competing with something else in February next year, which we'll talk about a little bit later.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, what are your thoughts
That's
on
gonna
Tides
be
of Tomorrow? What'd you think?
oh, okay. So I love the art style. You know that I'm a sucker for color, and also I love games in which choices matter. I'm looking at you, BioWare. Please don't mess up Mass Effect. Please, God, don't mess this up. With the EA news, that just made me nervous about Mass Effect. But but playing choice-based games like Baldur's Gate 3, in which it affects the game, plus having other players affect it, I'm really excited for games like that. Like we need more games with the idea of choices, or at least the illusion of choices that matter. Give me the illusion. That's all I need.
No, that's fair actually. Like, yeah, at least like, because one thing I will always shit on Ubisoft for, ever since they started going into an RPG direction with Assassin's Creed, the choice side of them, of those like RPG style AC games, the choices never feel like they matter. ever. Like in Odyssey, maybe only 2 of them, but it's not. Only 2 of them really mattered, and it was towards the end. Like, and it's really it's a real like surface level choice. Like it's either you decide to, spoiler alert for a game that came out in 2018, you either choose to trust Alexios or say, no, I have to kill you. You're too dangerous. You've done too much. You've gone too far, basically, and you have to kill him. Like that's really all it is. It's very surface level. So seeing a game that is like full on choice, I'm interested. I want to see more. And I can't wait. It's definitely a game that we are definitely gonna have to stream together, and just like get an idea for.
Yep, like that's one of the many streams that we got planned for. So keep on the lookout.
Moving on though, I have 2 more games from State of Play, and then I'll kind of throw it to you, let you grade it, let you talk about any other things that maybe I didn't mention. Oh shit, I hit my mic. Apologies, headphone users. But we have 2 more games here. I don't know, did you ever play the game? It's a really small game, very unknown. It's called Journey. Did you ever play Journey?
Yes. Yes, back when I had my hipster phase.
Okay, calm down. Journey's fantastic. So I don't know if you got the same feeling watching the State of Play that I did when this game came up, but I immediately was like, Journey 2? Are we getting a Journey 2? Is this Journey 2? And like I was watching it with a buddy in call, and you can ask him, that's all I said. The entire time I was like, but please be Journey 2. Like just make it Journey 2. And it's by the same people that made Journey. It has the same style, but it's called Sword of the Sea. Again, super colorful, super cartoony. A game I think you would really like, especially since you've played Journey before. But yeah, the thing about Journey is it's such a casual, fun game that you can just sit down, kind of turn your brain off a little bit and just enjoy. But like it also does go deeper than that if you want a game like that. But surface level, it's just a fun, nice, relaxing game. Beautiful world design. And this one looks, again, it just looks like more of Journey. The worlds look more impressive. They look bigger in scope. And the colors. Like, I'm watching it on my monitor, which I have a pretty good fucking monitor, if I might add. And like these colors are they pop right off the screen. It looks impressive. I can't wait. What are your thoughts though on Sword of the Sea? Is it a day one for you?
Yes, it is a day one for me. It gives me that feeling of Journey. A time, back to a better time. Back when games were $80, and I hope this game is not $80. Hopefully it's the same price as Journey. I think Journey was like $25. So hopefully this game will be worth my time, worth my money, and also give me the same experience as Journey.
I also wonder.
But I would love to have Journey 2.
Yeah, I also wonder if it's gonna have the same kind of like multiplayer elements that Journey had, which is something a lot of people didn't know. I didn't know for the longest time playing Journey actually that like, it had multiplayer elements in it. So I wonder if they're gonna do something similar in this one, or if they're gonna be like, you know what, no, this one we're just gonna keep it a nice, simple, like peaceful one-player game kind of thing. But yeah, that's Sword of the Sea. It comes out, when is this coming out? August 19th. So very, very soon. It is coming out very, very soon.
Oh man, we got a whole summer of gaming when it comes to that.
Yeah, you remember when summer used to be like that time where you're like, damn, okay, we're in a drought right now. I'm going to go back, play that backlog. Can't even do that. Summer's not even safe anymore. Games are dropping left and fucking right. Like this year has been absolute bangers. We had Kingdom Come Deliverance. We had Monster Hunter Wilds. We had Split Fiction. We've had Clear Obscure Expedition 33. Doom: The Dark Ages. Death Stranding comes out soon. I think it's this week or next week.
Oh yeah, Death Stranding 2. Oh man, that's gonna be crazy.
Ghost of Yotei comes out later this year. Gears of War Remake comes out later this year. I mean, that's 8 fucking games right there already.
Oh man, like there's also Marvel Cosmic Invasion. That one I'm actually real hyped for.
Marvel. Okay, talk about it. Talk about it.
Okay, so it's by the same developer that did the TMNT Shredder's Revenge. So it's a 2D action
banger.
platformer. It looks just like the X-Men arcade game. You get to play as Wolverine, Spider-Man, Venom, Storm, Nova, and Quasar. That's
Quasar?
Yeah.
They put Quasar in a game?
Yes. That threw me off. Like, and they also got Madhouse do some of the animation and Titmouse, so I'm really hyped for that.
When does that drop?
And they still haven't. Oh yeah, and She-Hulk too. They just during both of the upcoming events that we will discuss, they actually showed the trailer. So the release date still says 2025, which I don't know what they mean.
Oh, so it's still a release window. It's not definitive yet. Oh, I hate when they do that. The final game from State of Play that I want to talk about, it is one that the title and everything got officially announced 2 days, I think it was 2 days before, or 3 days before the State of Play actually happened. But then we got to see it, and I don't know if you're as excited as I am. I don't know if you were a Hitman fan, like I was. I think I've told you in the past I'm a big stealth fan. I Splinter Cell is those are some of my favorite games of all time. I love Assassin's Creed. I love Dishonored. Dishonored was my favorite game for the longest time. And the Hitman games, like that new trilogy that they did specifically, all of them are easily 8s and 9s out of 10s. And that team, IO Interactive, is doing the new James Bond 007 First Light game, which, fun fact, I joked when me and my buddy were watching the State of Play and we got to finally see James Bond on screen and see the face model. I was like, oh, that's a James Bond face. I was like, looks like a generic white man. Fun fact, Aaron, I found out that the person supposedly playing this James Bond is the same guy who played young Dexter in the Dexter prequel, which is actually really solid. Highly recommend it if you're a Dexter fan. But I kind of laughed because I was like, damn.
That seems interesting.
I was like, damn, I just made fun of you for looking like a generic white man, and you're this guy. And now I feel bad because you actually did really fucking good as Dexter, and you're actually a really good actor. But anywho, we're getting a new 007 game coming out. Is it this year or next year?
I think next year, 2000.
Next year, yeah. It's coming 2026. So I'm really excited. It looks amazing. Again, it's from IO Interactive. And they're the guys behind the Hitman franchise. This is our first James Bond game in easily 20 years or something. It's been a
since
fucking long time.
With Love, yeah.
Yeah. And they also announced though that week that in one of the Hitman games they're doing a kind of DLC inspired from my favorite James Bond film, Casino Royale, in the Hitman games. So you can actually play a mission in Hitman for Casino Royale to kind of build up hype around this 007 game. But visually, as always, it looks stunning. It looks like an IO Interactive game, if that makes sense. It looks like their signature style for that kind of realism focus. Looks like James Bond being suave. And I believe this is early years for James Bond. So
yeah, so prior to Casino Royale, it seems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
I do wonder if it is gonna like be canon to any of the movies in the franchise, or if it is just its own thing. They're just saying like, oh, this is just early in his career as James Bond, basically. But yeah, I mean, the little brief intercuts of gameplay we got, it looks like the playstyle just looks and gives me Hitman vibes, but also the action sequences are cranked up to 11 compared to like an action sequence you would experience in the Hitman games. Like they look like that action movie James Bond sequence that you know and love. But I'll move the mic over for you. I'll let you talk about James Bond. What you kind of, if you got excited for it, if you think this is the day one, what's your highs and lows from the trailer?
the highs and lows from the trailer, it feels like an actual James Bond game. It feels like a good James Bond, not the terrible ones, you know. Um, Plus, I remember having fun with Russia with Love, so hopefully it will bring me those feelings of that type of gameplay. Hopefully the gunplay will look good. Hopefully there won't be any frame rate drops, because if it's a James Bond game, you know there's going to be large set pieces. It's going to be large in scale. There's got to be a plane sequence, and also they got to have the best looking Bond lady out there. So it's got to have on the checklist on that one.
One thing too, I just remembered is I got a fun little kick at the very end of that trailer. They show him hung upside down with the classic alligator pit directly under him. I got
The
a fun
alligator
kick.
pit, Doctor No. Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
they show it at the very end of the trailer. I was actually about to restart the trailer when it popped up again. I remembered it, and I was like, ah, what a classic James. Like I don't give a shit how old it gets. Always give me an alligator pit in a James Bond project. It's a classic. It's a staple at this point. I love it. I'll never get old of that motif. But yeah, I'm excited. I would say my highs are it looks great. It looks like it's going to play great. The stealth mechanics are there. The action set pieces look fantastic. The low, I would say, and this might feel weird to some, but so far from what we've gotten to see for gameplay wise, it does just look like a Hitman game. And that's kind of where I'm a little hesitant on the gameplay front, because I get Hitman does pseudo kind of play like a James Bond game you would think a James Bond game would play. I want to see what you're going to change up from your experience on Hitman to make this something different, because it is a different franchise. Like I want IO to remember this is not Hitman. So I just want to see a little bit more gameplay of what you're going to change from those two franchises. But that's really my only negative. Yes. It's not even a big negative. It's just something. This is our first trailer, so they have time to show us before it comes out.
Yes, and also I hope that it has the charm like the books and the movies have, because James Bond is a character that could be easily messed up.
Yes,
and I
very
know
easily.
You will be upset. You will go up to the studio and just curse him out, because I know.
I will go full crash out. I mean, I was mentioning to him before the episode started, because I was taking off a couple things from the notes that just we don't need to talk about. One of them though was about people clamoring for Battlefront 3 the last few weeks. And I told him that if EA gives in and gives us a Battlefront 3 before giving us a Titanfall 3, I will full on crash out on EA. I don't think I will ever support EA ever again.
I mean, EA will do something to win people back over, just like they did last year with what was that game? That won people over.
What games did they come out last year? Definitely wasn't Dragon Age: The Veilguard. I can tell you that. That shit flopped.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't do. Okay, but here's the thing: The Veilguard didn't deserve to flop. Like all the problems with Veilguard specifically stem not from BioWare, they stem from EA. I think it might have been you, or it might have been one of my friends I was texting where I was like, I want BioWare to figure out a way where they can break away from EA at this point. I need BioWare to be on their own, like have full fucking control over their franchises. But I don't know how they would be able to do that at this point because they kind of need that EA money. EA games in 2020. Nope, not 5. 4. What games came out last year? No, it wasn't Tales of Kanzara. That's a EA original, and nobody played that shit, which is tragic because it is one of the best games of last year. Man, I don't remember what game was it last year that like had people kind of being like, "Ooh, shit." Yeah, maybe it wasn't last year. Maybe it was like a couple years ago. Anyways, I don't know. EA has these weird like momentums of like they'll come out with a game, have gamers respect, and then they'll do something on like one of their sports games and like lose that respect immediately because they're just money hungry.
It reminds me of a certain artist that we will talk about in the show about that type of company. They're pretty much the EA of music.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. That's all I really wrote down. Like I said, when I first watched it, I gave the show like a C-, but then I took a step back. I let the show marinate, and I really thought about it, and I was like, that's what, 6 games that I took away from the State of Play for a 40-minute showcase. I mean, 6 games that I'm genuinely interested in. Oh, and I'm not gonna lie, we forgot about one because I don't have the trailer here on the notes. We forgot about the big one. Do you know what it is? Or I guess the other big one. Oh, I'm so mad at myself. As a horror fan, I'm so mad at myself for this. We forgot about Silent Hill F.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
And it's because I don't have the trailer on the show notes. So so when I was looking at my bullet points, I just glossed over it. We got to see more Silent Hill F, which looks fantastic. I mean, it was a highlight to see some more of it at the showcase, but we've seen like bits and pieces throughout before the showcase, so it wasn't like the same feeling as watching 007 or seeing Sword of the Sea or anything like that. But I will just say Silent Hill F looks great. The environment looks cool. I've seen, apparently people online are saying, oh, they don't like that it's not set in Silent Hill. Who cares? Who fucking cares? This is set in Japan, and it's the monster designs in this Silent Hill games being set in Japan, and all the tight corridors in this Japanese like town or village or city are just gonna add to that like creepy atmosphere vibe. I don't know if you're a big horror fan or not, Aaron, but this is a day one pickup for sure. I might stream this one too.
Oh, okay. And that's a 2026 release window?
No, this is this year. This is in September. This comes out in September this year.
Oh, snap. Okay. So just in time for the spooky season. All right.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I'm super excited. Everything about this game looks like they nailed it. And I'm actually really mad because I still haven't gotten to play the remake of Silent Hill 2 yet. But between that and this one coming out, it looks like Silent Hill is back. And so I can't wait. There's this area too in the trailer that I have playing right now where like she's walking through the field of just like these bodies strung up as like scarecrows almost. And then they start like moving like animatronics and stuff at you. I like just watching you walk through a hallway and then you see so many there, and like knowing any one of them can just like start attacking you at any time. I'm not ready for this. Also, it looks like part of it's going to be set in a school. everything about this game. I can't wait to get my hands on. Cannot wait. Horror actually had a pretty big presence at these showcases when I'm thinking about it. Like, there was quite a few horror games at each showcase. But any final thoughts on Silent Hill F before we give our overall thoughts and ranking?
The rank is pretty dope. Like, I like it.
Day one for you, or maybe a wait and see what comes out?
I'm gonna wait and see what comes out, cause we got like several other games on top of that. Like this video game release window has been kind of crazy. Like I'm starting to have a hard time to keep up with a lot of these games. So
yeah, you haven't even started Clair Obscur yet.
No, I haven't even started. I'm trying to finish Shin Megami Tensei. I'm trying to finish Baldur's Gate 3. Those games got me in a chokehold right now. And then I still haven't started on Monster Hunter, and all my friends is like complaining that I haven't started. And I'm like, man, I'm trying to finish these games before I go.
I didn't end up beating Monster Hunter yet, because then like Split Fiction came out. And so me and my buddy ran through Split Fiction, then Clair Obscur came out, and I got hooked on that. And then I was also heavy on my Mortal Rivals rank grind too. And so I just didn't end up going back to Monster Hunter yet. And when I beat Clair Obscur, I was like, okay, I'm gonna download those games that are like need to be top priority to beat right now. And so I re-downloaded Monster Hunter, got Doom there, got a couple other games on there. And I loaded up Monster Hunter, grabbed my Xbox controller, sat there at my desk, and went, I don't remember how to play. I was like, I hate Monster Hunter controls. Like, every Monster Hunter game, I hate their fucking controls. Because oh my God, I don't know what it is. They're not, like, they're simple, but not simple, if that makes sense. Like, they're simple when you learn them. But, like, trying to go back to it from other games, you're like, fuck, man, I just forgot how to play entirely. And so it's like I have to like try to find a way to relearn it so then I can pick back up on the story, because I was enjoying the Monster Hunter story. It's nothing too crazy, but I was enjoying it. I was interested to see where it went. But before we move on to Summer Games Fest, what are your like good, bad, and ugly for the state of play? What would you rate it? Like A, B, C, D, E, F.
I'm gonna say a B.
A B?
I'm gonna easily say a B, because there's a lot of games that people were expecting but they didn't get announced, and they were announced in other festivals and stuff like that. So, I mean, like, it's cool. Like, it's not like exciting like as their other state of plays. Like, remember
the one in like
the last great state of play?
The last one, I would say, like, the last great one, in my opinion, was probably the one where they announced Wolverine for the first time, and that was like what, 2022? It was like September 2022.
Oh, yeah, did you see the gameplay that leaked?
Yeah, that
gameplay leaked.
Remember, because I told you, I was like, yeah, that was gameplay from when the hack happened at Insomniac.
Yeah, like, but it looks like they cleaned it up from the newer footage. But I wonder
they could have been
Wolverine. Did you mention it?
If it's not Steve Blum, I don't care. I don't care.
What about the dude who voices Wolverine in X-Men 97?
Who voices him in X-Men 97?
Oh my God. God.
X-Men.
My brain. See that? My Unc Brain.
Your Unc Brain.
Yep. I guess that's the name of the episode.
Cal Dodd.
Yeah, Cal Dodd. Yeah.
He was the original one of the 90s cartoon.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
I like him. I like him. I don't know. There's something about the way Steve Blum voices the character in his time as Wolverine that, like, it's a unfortunate, like, Mark Hamill or Kevin Conroy situation where, like, it's so hard for me to hear somebody else.
Yep. It's very difficult. Like,
It
yeah, Steve Bloom is like the Wolverine. Like, no matter what, Steve Bloom always voices
is it
Wolverine,
Bloom or
except for
Blum?
like
Is there
certain
an E?
occasions. Uh, I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's Bloom. I
I
think
just
you're
I
right.
just like, yeah, but
It
yeah,
it
like
it
Wolverine game, I'm hyped
feels
for it.
an like way I can describe it is they I don't think I have it on these notes because I don't care about it, but when they showed that VR Deadpool game they're doing and you hear the voice, it's Neil Patrick Harris doing the voice of Deadpool in that game. The only two people I
Yeah,
want
that's
to
kind of
hear,
weird.
the only two people I want to hear as Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds and Nolan North. And hearing Neil Patrick
Yeah.
Harris, I was like, this sounds like someone doing a bad Ryan Reynolds Deadpool impression. Like, no
For
hate to
me,
Neil
it felt
Patrick
like
Harris. I
Barney.
love Neil Patrick. It's Neil Patrick Harris. Like
It's literally Barney. Yeah,
it's like,
it's literally Barney.
but like there's at times in the trailer if you listen to it, you're like, this sounds kind of like Ryan, but it's like a bad impression of Ryan doing the Deadpool voice. And so you're just
Also,
kind of like
Ryan
take it back
Reynolds
and you're
did
like,
a
I don't.
reply. Ryan Reynolds did
Yeah,
a
because
reply.
he's involved with it. He's involved in the
Oh,
game.
so he. Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's
Very
involved in the
interesting.
game. I think he's a producer or something for the game or something like that. But yeah, he's involved in it
I
somehow.
mean,
He involves himself in anything Deadpool at this point because he loves
yeah,
that character so
because
much.
yeah, he's pretty much definitive. Like, it's kind of hard when he actually leaves the character, and I don't know if he's gonna leave the character.
Yeah, he's gonna do it till he's
Anytime
90.
soon.
Same with Hugh Jackman as
Yes,
Wolverine.
and plus you need to figure out why Thor is crying.
I'm gonna laugh when we get to Doomsday or Secret Wars and there's that scene just doesn't exist. And I'm like, haha, got you. It was just a gag for Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm
Yes,
like, ah,
I
fuck
mean, like
you.
if you know, I know exactly the scene it parodies, but I mean, like if they know, they know. If you don't, that's okay.
Yeah, did you hear like because somebody asked asked Hemsworth about it and he's like, I don't know. And he's like, I wasn't even there.
I don't
And then
know.
they're like, yeah, we
Yeah,
just used footage from Thor the Dark World.
the worst.
They're like
Yeah, the
Thor
worst
crying is
CGI.
literally him holding Loki in Dark World just pasted with Deadpool in that movie. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. It's a quick little scene that literally like I'm sure Kevin Feige was like, what are you guys doing? Why are you doing this?
Yeah,
Stop it.
and
We didn't
also
want to do this. And Ryan's like, eh.
also him also Hemsworth got his hair cut for the Doomsday. So I mean, like, hey, I don't know if that
Did he
makes
really?
sense now. Yeah,
So
yeah,
we're
he's
gonna have
supposed to have
short hair Thor again?
according to the. Yeah, we're gonna have short hair Thor.
Interesting. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yep. I mean, they were going with
Give me that
time
crappy
went out, so
blonde wig from the first movie. Give me that shit back. Put my boy Hemsworth in that shitty ass blonde wig again.
oh man, no. Like,
Listen,
yeah,
it's still
they
not as
were
bad
with
as the one they put Stephen Amell in the early seasons of Arrow when they do his flashbacks.
oh my god, yeah,
That shit's atrocious.
yep, that's yep. We don't talk about that. And I know you love Arrow, so when you mention that, that just, ugh, yeah,
That shit's
that's
atrocious. No, I would give. So you gave it a B. I would give it like a C plus. I think the only thing holding it back from being a B is they did something that pissed me off, and they wasted time during their. Mind you, they always do like 30, 40-minute state of plays, and they wasted time giving like this airway to Ghost of Yote, but they didn't show Ghost of Yote. They just were like. They announced another like singular state of play in July to showcase it. I'm like, you could have tweeted this. Why are we wasting time on this state of play to tell us about another state of play a month away? You could have tweeted this on July 1st
Yes.
for us. Like it's
and
also
also with
scaring me that we
the
have like
Ghost
no
of Tsushima
gameplay.
anime, they kind of
But it's just
Like a
it's
Ghost of
scaring me
Tsushima
for
and
Ghost of Yote
yeah,
that we have like no gameplay of this game and it comes out in October. We have gotten like no gameplay for
really
it.
October? I thought it was like November, December.
It's October. I think it's
Wow.
early
Okay.
October.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Wow.
Ghost
Okay.
of
Yeah. That's
Yote. Yeah, October 2nd. It's early October. And we have like no gameplay for it. And it's starting to worry me a little
wow.
bit. Cuz like this is the first time too that I think Erika Ishii is getting to like solo headline it. Cuz like she's one of the voices for one of like the main character Rook in Veilguard, but like you have multiple voice options. So it's not like and like I don't know. It's worrying me because I'm like, she deserves better, and you guys have like given us nothing for this game. What the fuck's going on? So I give it a C plus. It's a really solid showcase. There's quite a few games here that I'm very interested in. Again, Pragmata looks cool. Onimusha looks really cool. Bloodstain, Tides of Tomorrow, Sword of the Sea, and James Bond, and then Silent Hill F. All of them look great. I'm intrigued by all of them. Tides of Tomorrow, we kind of need to see a little bit more. I'm worried on how that multiplayer angle is gonna work. That's my biggest thing with it. But any final thoughts about the state of play before we move on to Summer Games Fest?
No, I think we kind of just mentioned everything.
Perfect. Alrighty. So the next one on the list is Jeff Keighley's Fun Little Summer Games Fest, his way of replacing the big E3. And I'm not gonna lie, granted, it was a lot of games and a lot of really cool games. I mean, I have so many listed here on the notes for us to talk about.
Oh man,
I do
you know what?
think
How about I take the reins on this one because this is a lot, and I think we got we got a lot, but I can actually just take the helm and just.
we
You want to
can.
start with a big one from Summer Gaming Fest?
No, let's start with some of the small ones because some of these we're just probably gonna spend a small amount of time and just kind of mention. Kind of like starting off, we'll start with Lego Voyagers. What did you think about Lego Voyagers?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. That game is actually pretty dang cool.
Lego kind of always kills it with their stuff.
Yeah, it's like I've never seen a terrible Lego game. Like they're pretty consistent.
Correction.
No matter what license they use.
That Lego Worlds wasn't that good.
Oh,
I'll say it. I'll say it.
Lego
I don't care. You can hate me. y'all can hate me all you want. Lego Worlds wasn't that good. Was it ambitious for a Lego game?
Okay.
Yes. Did they nail it? Not at all. I think it was cool of them to try it, but it just doesn't work.
Oh, one game out of Summer Game Fest that really just threw me off the loop is Beast of Reincarnation.
Beast of
Because it's
Reincarnation.
that one is developed by Game Freak, and it's their only game that they're not doing with Nintendo.
Yes. Oh my god, thank you. I forgot about that one. So when I was going back and like trying to fill out the rest of my notes for Summer Games Fest, I was like, there were so many. It was like a 2-hour long fucking show. And so was like just trying to remember. And then it was actually the GI podcast, their most recent one, that like reminded me of that game. But yeah, it's Game Freak of all people. And we see what they can do when they're not tied to Nintendo. And it looks incredible.
Yes, and it's like full of robots and monsters, and you have a doll. Like I'm a sucker for a canine companion. Like boy, those games, I have a soft spot for that. So I'm really excited about that. Also, Sega came out swinging with some of these, like Stranger Than Heaven. Now that one I'm actually super excited
Stranger in Heaven looks amazing.
Yes, it's got a jazz soundtrack, and it has yeah.
You know what I'm gonna do for the video version? of this show, I'm just gonna put on the Summer Games Fest and just have it playing.
Oh yeah, cause yeah, you gotta see it to believe it, especially Stranger Than Heaven. We also talked about 007 First Light, but we
Yeah, they
just
showed a
mentioned that,
little bit
so
at the Summer Games Fest, but yeah, that was mostly a state of play one. Like we didn't really get
yeah, that
much else from Summer Games Fest. Like, if I remember correctly, they just kind of showed um, more of the same from what we saw like a
yep.
day prior. The one
And
right now,
also,
because I have the Summer Games Fest up that I kind of wanted to mention was Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Because they also
oh
took
yeah, that's
shots
crazy.
at Mario Kart. Because it's going to be cross platform as well. Everyone can play it. But they're the fucking crossover characters they're getting. They got Joker from Persona 5. They got Hatsune. They got the boy from Yakuza. They got Steve from Minecraft.
Ichiban, yeah,
Like this game,
Ichiban,
and
Steve.
it also looks great. Like this looks like a fun racing game. Like I genuinely am actually super excited for it.
Yeah, that's going to be the Mario Kart killer because
Hmm.
nobody's paying $80 for it, and I bet Sega's gonna be like, no, it's gonna be 39 dollars. I'll be clapping.
Yeah, I guarantee you Sega pulls a move where they just go, you know what? We'll sell it at 40. Or even
Yeah.
like they could just sell it at 60 and still undercut them that way.
Yep. Because I'm not paying $80 for no Mario Kart. I'm sorry, I can't do
We
it.
we got a couple sequels announced too that I was gonna mention. I don't know how
Oh yeah.
big of a fan you are. The first one I was gonna mention because it just popped up on the screen right now. But Code Vein 2 got announced. Anime Dark Souls
Okay,
for the
Code
Gooners. Because you know anime fans, they love to goon. But I don't
Yep.
know. It looked cool. I wasn't that interested in the first game. I watched my buddy kind of play the first one because he bought it, and I kind of gave him shit for it because I was like, "Why the fuck did you buy Anime Dark Souls when you could have just bought Dark Souls?" But this
Yeah.
one looks cool. I love the world design in Code Vein. I think the world design is the coolest thing. And honestly, if they just decided, you know what, we're not gonna make games anymore for Code Vein, we're just gonna turn it into an anime, I'd be totally down for that. I'd watch an anime set in this world. It's very fascinating to me. Um, I will say though, one thing I didn't notice first round of watching it because I kind of zoned out during it because again I just never cared about Code Vein. Um, the main character you see with white hair, he has like a gold streak over his eye. Being that I was in the middle of playing Clair Obscure, I could not just stop making references to a character in that game because of this character's look. It's like, it's really similar. I don't know about this. But yeah, it looks cool.
And
I don't think it's a day
yeah, it looks
one.
cool.
If I can get it, maybe
Yeah,
on a Steam sale.
yeah. It seems like a sale game, but looks cool. Speaking of anime and Clair Obscur, the Japanese Clair Obscur. I know a few
Japanese
Persona
Clair
fans will
Obscure.
be mad at me when I say that. Yeah.
What are you?
Persona 4
Oh,
Revival. We gotta look up that.
don't piss off the Persona fans,
Pers-
man. Don't piss off the Persona fans. They
I'm a
will come for your
Shimigami
head.
Tensei fan, so I'm a Shimigami Tensei fan. So you know how much I feel about Persona if I'm a Shimigami Tensei fan. Chaos route, neutral route all day. Um, but Persona 4 Revival, um, that title got leaked by Yuri Lowenthal, out of all people. That's the crazy part about that. They didn't show a whole lot of gameplay. It just showed like a little bit of footage, but I know it's got all the Persona fans creaming. I'm like, where's my Shimigami Tensei
You,
remake?
you know what's
Where's my
funny?
ST3 remake?
Because I was watching most of the show while I was on break at work. And I literally had my little like messenger notification pop up from my buddy, and he just like in all caps just said Persona 4 remake, and I was like, this motherfucker literally just told me it right before I saw a section of it, that like immediately I was like, oh, this is Persona. I saw like the art style and everything, and just saw like a Japanese street with the Torii Gate and said Persona, and then it goes Persona 4, and I was like, yep, all right. I was like, don't get me wrong, they're great games. I just Persona is really hard for me to get into and get attached with. I don't know why. I love turn-based games. Just those games in particular. I want to. That's the other problem, is I want to get into them. It's just really hard for me to get attached to them, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't,
Yeah.
but yeah. So it's cool for Persona
Okay.
fans that they're
So
getting 4 and they can play that. Another sequel
yeah.
that was announced that actually looks like a day one cop for me. Mortal Shell 2 got announced.
Okay, Mortal Shell 2. That's Mortal Shell is actually a pretty underrated title, so I'm
That's what
excited
I've
to
heard.
see where. Yeah. So Mortal Shell 2.
Mortal Shell
That's
2 looks
definitely,
good.
yeah,
I'm
it looks
excited.
good.
Don't It might be a day
And
one cop.
also,
It also just depends though. Like if that's coming out next to a game we'll talk about very last. uh, if it's coming out next to that game, ooh, it's getting pushed.
oh
It's
yeah,
good.
it's getting pushed back. But speaking, like Game Freak, Marvel decided to pull a fast one and announce their new fighting game,
No, wait.
Dragon Ball
You're getting ahead.
Dokkan.
You're getting ahead of yourself here, buddy. I don't think that was Summer Games Fest. We're saving that. We're saving that.
Okay, we're saving that.
Yeah, we're saving that
Sorry,
one.
I got my stuff mixed up. I mentioned Cosmic Invasion. They showed more gameplay footage and show She-Hulk and Rocket Raccoon. So they show more of that. Let me see, because I'm looking at the notes too.
There's one
There's
that
also
it's showing right now. They're doing a Game of Thrones RTS game, which sounds pretty interesting. Um,
yes,
there's a Game of Thrones game that is in like early access right now. It looks okay for the most part. I know it's from a small studio, so like I'm not trying to like judge it too harshly. This RTS game, the
yeah,
cinematic they showed for it looked like it was a pretty dope cinematic, but I want to see like how this RTS is going to differ from other ones, cuz like if it's just like a simple normal RTS, it's like, okay, well, am I just playing this because it's got the Game of Thrones name to it? Like I don't care. Like I
it's Jon
genuinely don't
Snow.
care.
It's Jon Snow. Like we can all admit, we love Jon Snow. So
I love Jon Snow. It's one of those things. I just want to know if there's gonna be anything to like really bring people in from other RTS games like Civ specifically, or just like are are you gonna do something to try to bring in um, more casual audiences to like get them to finally try RTS games? Because like one of the nice things about
yeah,
BG3
I
is like BG3 became such a phenomenon that it had people who don't play games like that playing Baldur's Gate 3.
yeah, I don't usually play those types of games, but Baldur's Gate got me in a chokehold, like I mentioned earlier.
Hmm. So I just want to see what the gameplay loop is going to be like for this RTS versus other ones, or if it's just all right, Game of Thrones, but it's RTS, have fun. It's like no, I'll just go play the better ones that are out already. The
Okay,
other
okay.
one I wanted to bring up to
Another
you
one.
that I
Yeah.
think you're gonna like. Sorry, go ahead. I'll save it. Go ahead.
Oh, since all of us in are fans of Psychonauts, they just announced the developer Double Fine just announced Keeper. That one is like weird as hell, like an anamorphic lighthouse.
Yeah, that one looks really cool. I forgot to put that on the notes because I love
Yeah.
Psychonauts. That one looks really cool.
See that?
And
This
it
is why we have double notes right here. This
this
is
is
why
why
we
we
have
have double
double.
notes. So yeah, notes. That one looks really cool. I'm very interested in it. I mean, it's the people behind Psychonauts. How are you not interested in it? Psychonauts is one of the coolest platformers to ever exist. Um, are you Sorry, I'm only bringing it up because it just showed up on the screen. Are you feeling Atomic Heart 2? The goonerest of gooner games.
No.
I'm not. They showed this shit, and I said, "All right, I'm gonna tap out. I'm good. Wake me up when this shit's
Yeah,
over."
no, I'm good. Like, yes, wake me up. But there were so many games I couldn't keep up with the whole thing. Like,
Exactly. One
there's
I
so many
think
dope games that came
you're
out.
gonna agree
Like,
on that looked really cool is that mouse PI for hire. It looks like old school black and
yes,
white Steamboat Willie style, like old Disney style animation. That game looked really cool. It's all it's a first person
yeah,
shooter, but it looks like old school Disney animation. So I'm interested in that one
yes,
a
and
lot.
yeah, that one looks pretty cool. I remember a couple years ago when they showed the alpha footage of that. Now the game looks gorgeous. So I'm excited to see where they're gonna take that.
We got to see more Onimusha. I accidentally put that twice on my
Yep.
notes here. We don't really need to talk about it. I think we talked about enough of it already. That Chrono Odyssey, that official playtest trailer came out. Um, that one looked really cool. I liked that one a lot. I'm trying to bring up the trailer here to kind of refresh
Oh
my
yeah.
memory on it.
Oh,
Um,
I also got notes of the new Marvel game from the Marvel Rivals
oh,
development team.
yeah.
It's mobile, but it's from that team. So I think that's a nothing game, but it's from Marvel Rivals, and the Gooner's gonna love it.
Yep. Marvel
Maybe
Rivals
I'll
is the
like it.
Gooners game of choice this year.
Yeah,
Um,
people are
yeah,
thirsty for the blondes in that game, and I'm like, ugh. There's way more blondes than I like.
Chrono Odyssey looked really cool. Like it was a playtest trailer, and like it looks Soulsy. Like it looks like the combat was inspired by Souls games, um, but it looks very fast paced, which is interesting to me. And I believe it's co-op as well. So this might be a game that we gotta hop on together on stream, Aaron. If this shit's co-op,
Yes, that's definitely
it
co-op.
looks like you have different classes as well that you can pick from. So I'm interested in that. But yeah, Chrono Odyssey I think it's definitely a game I want to keep my eye on right now. I haven't determined if it's a day one cop yet, but that one looks really cool. Um, Out of Worlds looked really cool. Also, the
Oh yeah,
playtest is
Out of
happening June
Worlds
20th.
2.
No,
Oh
this is
man, that's
Out
gonna be
of
good.
Worlds.
Oh, Out of Worlds. Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Um, it's
Every
got
name
this
is starting to blend in.
right. Well, it doesn't help that there's an Outer Worlds. There's another game that Outer Worlds kept getting confused by
Outer
because they're
Wilds.
Outer Wilds. That's what it was. And now we have
Yep.
the Outer Worlds or Out of Worlds, whatever. Oh my god! But it's a handcrafted like co-op adventure. It looks inspired by games like It Takes Two and Split Fiction. But this one, unlike what Hazelight does in their co-op games, this is just a one-screen 2D platformer where you play with somebody. So like, there's not a line in the middle where you see each other's perspectives. Um,
Okay,
so
so it's very different from what 2K's been developing. Okay.
um, Out of Worlds looked really cool. It looks like a fun, just simple platformer to play with a friend, and I love the aesthetic. I love that it's like this fun stop motion style of animation for a game. So that one I'm really interested in as well. And then, did you play Liza P by chance?
Yes,
Did
and
you? They announced that
I heard
DLC.
that the DLC. Yeah, and people are complaining about it, like that it's too hard, and I'm like, really?
Oh my god, we're
Like,
doing
this
that
came
again.
out. Yep.
They did this. They did this with Elden Ring too. They were like, Elden Ring's too hard. Blah blah blah. And it's like, brother, At this point, with how prevalent Souls-likes are becoming, if you're going into a Souls-like and you don't understand what you're getting yourself into, just cut your losses, honestly. Just fucking cut your losses. Just don't play them. Like, people, man. People can't handle themselves having, like, shit response times, I guess. Any others that you have? I have 3 other games I want to talk about. You mentioned one of them that I want to spend a little bit more time on, but I have 3 more games that I really want to talk about from Summer Games Fest. Do you have any?
I think I'll mention all the ones that I like, and then the rest, is cool.
It was cool. A lot of really cool, fun, interesting, like, different games. That I think that's the big takeaway from Summer Games Fest and just all these presentations. There is something here for everybody. No matter what type of game you like, there is something that got shown that is for you. Like, gaming has never been better than it is in the last, like, 3 years. Since 2023 to now. Like, even last year where, like, I don't think there was anything super, super stellar last year. There was a lot of really good games. And then 2023 was just fucking tense across the board. I mean, 2 of the 10 out of 10s that I can think of would be Alan Wake 2 and Baldur's Gate 3 in 2023. And then this year, I mean, shit, Clair Obscur, 10 out of 10. Easy. Split Fiction, 10 out of 10. I haven't played Kingdom Come, but I have a friend who played a fuck ton of hours, put a fuck ton of hours into it, and just based off what he said, I would believe him that it could be a 9 or a 10. So, the last 3 games I have, though, are Dying Light, The Beast. We finally got to see footage of that. That game looks absolutely impressive. I'm getting a phone call. You can just leave me a message. Dying Light, The Beast looks really good. I don't know if you ever played Dying Light at all.
It's been a while. I played that game like how many years ago now?
Did you just play the first one, or did you play the second one at all?
I played the first one.
So I played both. I never finished 2 because 2 just, it was disappointing. Like, it wasn't necessarily a bad game. It was just disappointing. It couldn't quite, nothing in that game captured what the first one did. But we're finally back with the original protagonist from the first game, and this environment for the city, the parkour systems, the combat, the amount of zombies on screen, what they've said about that day and night system for this one. It looks like they listened to fans from the second game and really stepped it up for this. It's called Dying Light the Beast, and I could just glaze this game for probably hours from just what we've seen. There's a 30-minute presentation. I have it up on the video version of the podcast right now. So make sure to head over to YouTube. It's the Nomad Gamer on YouTube. Make sure to head over there to check out some of the gameplay for it on the video version of the podcast. But it just looks incredible. I have 2 more games that I want to mention. You already kind of mentioned one, Stranger Than Heaven, which had a different title, as it was like a working title, but it's from the guys that make Yakuza, and it looks so fucking cool. I'm so excited for it. I haven't really ever played the Yakuza franchise either. I played a little bit of Judgment. I don't have a way to finish it anymore. I don't have a PlayStation anymore. I just have my PC, so I have to rebuy it. But from what I played on Judgment, I like their games a lot. They're just commitments, and I don't have a whole lot of time right now. I'm trying to get through the games I have this year to play. But that one looked really cool. That's easily a day one cop. And then the final game at Summer Games Fest. The one that pissed me off, and the reason I'm holding Summer Games Fest to a lower score. These motherfuckers at Capcom are dickheads, Aaron. They are straight up dickheads. You know why? Do you know why they're dickheads? Because they hoed us twice. Twice in this show. They had, if you remember, they had the lady who voices Lady D from Resident Evil 8 come on. And I was like, oh shit, Resident Evil 9 announcement. Here we go. And she just basically talks about the franchise and then says, games are on sale. And I said, that's it. That's what you announced at Summer Games Fest, Capcom? Mind you, at this point, they've already had like a large presence between State of Play and Summer Games Fest at this point. I was like, that's it? Not even like anything for Resident Evil, not even a new remake. Like, say, we're remaking 5, which please don't. You don't need to. But not even that. And then she comes back on, and I was like, okay, here we are. This is the announcement. And she just talks more about, or she gives it away to the game director for the Resident Evil franchise. And he just basically says, we're working on it. We're not ready to show it. Blah, blah, blah. That kind of stuff. I said, all right, I guess. And then Jeff does his whole end of show wrap up. And he goes, but before we go, we got one more very special world announcement, world premiere, or whatever. And they start showing the trailer for Resident Evil fucking 9. And when it started, and I was seeing it, and you see the FBI building, and you see the graphics, my buddy even said, he's like, this looks like Resident Evil graphics, but we weren't sure if it was yet. And we weren't sure what direction it was going in. And I'm like, this might be a Resident Evil. I was like, is this 9? Or is this something else? Is this a different Resident Evil project before 9? Because again, he told us, not ready to show it. But in the trailer at one point, they show you Raccoon City with the nuke. They show you the RPD building. And the second I saw RP, but they obviously, D was destroyed. But I saw RP, I said, Resident Evil 9, here we fucking go. And I lost my mind. I am a huge Resident Evil fan. I love 7 and 8. I love the direction they took the franchise in with those games. And I have been waiting for this moment to find out that we are not only getting our first trailer for it, but it is coming out next February. So I don't even have that much longer to wait. Great game.
Yep. RE9.
Or I guess great reveal trailer, I should say, not great game. It's going to be a great game. I don't give a shit. I'm calling now. We're headed back to Raccoon City. I see a lot of memes of people like Leon when he gets told that he has to return to Raccoon City. I'm not going to lie. Kind of hope Leon doesn't show up. And if he does, I hope it's in a similar capacity to how they use Chris in RE8. Where, like, he's not...
I have a feeling that...
Go ahead.
Yeah, I got a feeling that a lot of the older Resident Evil characters are going to be kind of like in legacy roles. Mm-hmm. Just let new protagonists take over.
Yeah.
In my head, I see him happy with Ada Wong.
That's your headcanon?
That's just...
Mine too.
That is my headcanon, yeah.
Mine too. They deserve to be happy. They've been through so much shit. But yeah, no, Resident Evil 9, what a reveal. Listen, Capcom, as much as I say fuck you for that shit, good job. That was a good bait. That was a good bait and switch. I'll hand it to you. But it's called Resident Evil Requiem is the official title. So they're sticking with the drop in the number and just going with the subtitle. And it comes out next February 27th, I believe, of next year.
That's actually relatively soon with this.
Really soon.
Yeah. So hopefully that will be good. And speaking of Capcom, man, Capcom going through a divorce.
Yeah. Um, yeah, talk about it, Aaron. Talk about the Marvel
Uh,
Capcom
so
divorce.
so Marvel just released a trailer called Marvel Token Fighting Spirit from Arxis, one of all Arxis, or is it?
Arxis, I
You know, the
think.
developers of Dragon Ball
Guilty
Fighter
Gear.
Z, Guilty Gear, all those types of games, and they pretty much did an alley oop on Capcom, and they said it
They
was a 4v4 fighter.
can I also add? They also like if I'm Riot making 2x KO, I'm also sweating right now. Cause like we already saw what happened when Marvel Rivals dropped with NetEase and how Blizzard was like, okay, fuck, we got to start trying again. Like we have to start actually like doing things again because they're actually starting to eat part of our pie. So if I'm Riot right now, I'm sweating. Like Marvel's entering the literal domain that I'm trying to. Like don't get it twisted. Riot also just make like every game they touch is sells and fucking does incredibly well. But at the same time, you're competing with Marvel as a brand. In a space that Marvel's existed before several times. Like it's not like this is like totally new for them either. So like if I'm Capcom, I'm kind of pissed. If I'm Riot, I'm also kind of pissed.
Yes, like Marvel is really stepping on toes, and they were like, you know what? We're gonna do our own version, and we're gonna get Fighter Z developer company to do it. And the characters that they have is kind of crazy. Like they got Miss Marvel. Okay, we got Rocket Raccoon. We got Ghost Rider. Like we got all types of crazy characters. So I'm
I will
really
say
excited
something
to
about
play.
this roster. I need this roster to be big, especially if it's a 4v4. I need it to be big, and I want to see deep cuts. I want to see deep cuts. I don't want to see like sure, yes, you're going to do like the characters that the MCU fans are going to know and recognize to try to pull them in, but give me those deep cut Marvel characters.
Like a Quasar.
Yeah, like a Quasar. Like exactly. Like because like I'm not a fan of the Spider-Man design. I'm not going to lie to you. I hate that suit. Stop over designing Spider-Man suits. Part of the reason
Yeah.
Spider-Man as a character, like from a design point, part of the reason it works and it's fun is it's a simple design. Because when you think about it, blue and red should just clash. Like that's not a color scheme that should work on a superhero costume. But for Spider-Man, it works because his design was always simplified. It was he has blue on the underside, basically, and then the red has his spider webs. Like it was a simple design that caught your attention. And the blue and red being two colors that should clash when they're put together, uh, made it catch your attention more. Stop adding
I can
lines to
agree
it.
with that.
Stop adding all these metallic elements to his suit. It's fucking atrocious.
Yes, I hope that they have alternative costumes and just original costumes in the game.
Also,
That's something
why
that
my man Tony Stark look like he's trying to bite off Gundam?
yeah, and Captain America. Like hopefully they'll have alternative costumes so they don't have to do that. But I do have to commend that they have a Japanese
Yes.
voices in the clip. That was something I didn't expect.
Seeing Ghost
So
Rider is really cool. Storm looks cool. I saw somebody say it's really funny that Doctor Doom in the trailer has all this magic and all this tech, and then he just decides to pull out a Glock.
yes,
And I was like,
that's
yeah,
very
that's
Doctor Doom.
very Doctor Doom. Very Doctor
Yeah,
Doom of him.
very in character. So it looks like they know these characters. So that's kind of
Yes.
cool. The designs, not a big fan, but it seems like
But
they it shows a lot of love. And the 4v4, it's so chaotic. I love it.
I'll say, for the most part, I'm a fan of the design. I don't know. I think it's funny that, like, Iron Man is just in this like simple suit that literally is just a human suit. So it's not like this big grandiose one, but it still looks like something you'd see in Gundam that you would expect to be this massive ass mech. It's just funny to me. He's even got the like little like eyebrow thing on the forehead. Miss Marvel looks cool. I like her design. I like that Marvel didn't force them to make her have glowy astral projections, and she just gets to be stretchy.
Oh my god, thank God, because now they're starting to do that in the comics, and I'm starting to get pissed off because, like, I like.
Are they? I thought when she came back as a mutant, she still has her stretchy.
She still does, but it looks like it's about to head into more MCU direction. What I was reading, but it might be a cop out. It might just go back to stretchy powers, but I don't know. That's just a recent run. A run written by our MCU favorite, Miss Marvel herself. So
yeah, Mavalani. I need to pick it up. I haven't started. I haven't been to a comic shop in fucking 2 months. I'm so behind, and there's so many good runs out right now too. I just don't have a card. Don't have the money to be spending on comics right now, unfortunately. And it sucks because I forgot Amon's Miss Marvel run was happening this year.
Oh yeah, and it's selling like it's like on its third reprint right now. So yeah,
good. She deserves it. Oh my god, she's been my favorite addition to the MCU. Like when we talk about perfect castings, in superhero movies, everybody brings up the the RDJ of it, the Hugh Jackmans, the Ryan Reynolds, Chris Evans, but like I feel like we do not talk enough about Iman Vellani getting cast as Miss Marvel. It's so good.
Oh yeah, and she's like I hope that they do more stuff with Miss Marvel because Daredevil Born Again, I was expecting that, and then it didn't happen. But then
her dad at least showed up.
Yeah, her dad was a dope character though, but you know, like
he's fun.
The time and also like the little details, like the little scene when the mom was talking to Miss Marvel, that scene, and when did it happen? And I realized that the dad just got through a robbery that day, so that was kind of interesting.
Oh wait, is that when Daredevil? It's getting so hard to try to follow when certain projects are happening in the MCU timeline at this point. So wait, Miss Marvel and Daredevil Born Again are supposed to happen kind of concurrently? Because I was under the impression that like Daredevil Born Again is like happening damn near next to Thunderbolts.
Actually, no. That's the crazy part about it, because the dad mentioned that that Miss Marvel is in the West Coast, which is technically not true.
No, she is.
And plus,
because remember, she travels. Yeah, she travels west.
Oh yeah.
Because she's recruiting, remember, for a new Avengers initiative.
Oh yeah.
Because we saw her show up.
You can't say new Avengers. You can't say new Avengers.
My bad. Technically, they can't either.
Yep. So, I mean, like,
spoilers. If you haven't watched.
Yeah.
If you haven't, I do think by the end of it, they will either move and go to becoming the West Coast Avengers, or they will be our Dark Avengers team in the MCU. But I think if anything, the West Coast Avengers will become the. I don't know if they'll say Young Avengers. I think they'll just say West Coast Avengers, and that will be like our Kamala, Kate Bishop, Hulkling, and maybe they finally bring Isaiah Bradley back and let him be Patriot. I don't know. He was apparently supposed to originally show up in Brave New World, and then they cut that from the script. But they also cut a fuck ton of shit.
That movie that they cut. Yeah.
They cut so much. I mean, they did like 6 rounds of reshoots, which is why a lot of that movie just feels choppy and rushed.
Yeah, like that
Anywho,
that 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 movie was like a great movie. That's just if it had more time, that's it. If they just leave scenes in more time, it would have been a great. But it's just good,
the same
and I'm
the
okay with
same
good with
reason
me.
that Falcon and the Winter Soldier didn't hit for people is the same reason Brave New World did. They
Okay.
meddled way too much with it after they finished it. They just meddled too much, which, to be fair, Falcon and Winter Soldier, one of the things they had to meddle on was apparently the like. Remember when they're talking to those people and like everybody's like getting really sick, but like they never really
Yep.
touch on it. That was supposed to be a much bigger thing, but it was so close to what was going on with COVID that they were like, we don't know if we should keep it in because people may just not want to see something that is so close to what they're dealing with currently that they just removed it outright. But they couldn't completely do it because certain characters and certain conversations were still integral to what was still happening. And so you just were like, wait, what is this? What's going on here? But apparently like that sickness angle was supposed to play into also everybody returning from the snap and everything like that. But it just got removed.
Yep.
Ugh, it's unfortunate. I feel so bad for Anthony Mackie. Cause
Anthony
like,
Mackie, good,
well, you get
because
your
he's
you get
about
your
to be
first
in a
movie.
billion
You
dollar movie.
have you and Sebastian get your big like Disney Plus show, and like they kind of both got a little bit torn to shreds by people because they felt so disjointed and feel like they're missing things. That like he deserved better. He just deserved better. But anywho, how would you rate Summer Games Fest?
I will give that a 9.3. To be
Nine point
honest,
three. So an A plus.
yeah,
Big old A plus, huh?
yeah, because they literally had so many games that I can't even count, and also it brought relevance to a lot of studios that have been kind of obscure until recently. Like we saw new content, we saw divorces happen, some drama. So I mean, like that's pretty exciting.
um,
Game Freak and Capcom, we looking at you.
I'm on kind of the same page with you. I would just go like maybe A minus, and the only reason is it was just long. Like I do feel like you could have probably shaved off an hour from the show in
Yeah,
its entirety. But like it's still like there like I said before, there's a game for everybody. Like if you walked away from any of these showcases that we got thinking, there's nothing I'm interested in, you just might not be a gamer. Like you just might not like games anymore. I'm gonna be so honest with you. I didn't even like with something like Atomic Heart 2 where we joked earlier. Like I'm not a fan of it, but it's there for somebody, and like the gameplay looked cool and like aesthetic, like graphically it looks good. Like it looks like a good game. So like to try to sit here and act like games there's nothing coming out or nothing to be excited for, it would be insane. Like you just might want to hang up your controller at that point. Um, but our last one is the Xbox Showcase, which personally might be my favorite of the three, just for the. But it's so hard because they were all so good. I want to start with Xbox getting into the handheld market with the
oh
ROG
man,
Xbox Ally, which is Xbox's version of things like the Steam Deck or the Legion Go. And it looks really cool. Like I mean, it looks neat. It's part of the Ally's X series too, which is like when it comes to performance wise, insane performance. I want to see what that price point's hitting for, and I do want to know what in particular is going. What reason do I have to get this over a Legion Go or a Steam Deck? but
I mean, it's
it
probably more affordable.
could be, but also depending on that performance, I mean that whatever that performance is hitting for, I mean that can make that price point go up. The nice thing is it all has integration with Xbox's system. It has integration with Epic, Steam, GOG, etc. I know some of them don't have full integration with some of those launchers. There's workarounds for it, but it's not direct integration. So they're, you're taking a risk when you're doing stuff like that on those other handhelds. The design looks weird. I watched a couple impressions from some tech YouTubers. They said they actually really like the design of this one because it has like more of a controller design for the handheld. Which, okay, that sounds cool. When I first saw it, I just don't know because of like that split to try to make it look closer to an Xbox controller. It looks like it would be uncomfortable, but I saw like 4 or 5 tech YouTubers all say like they thought it was the most comfortable in their hand because of that split design. I'm not gonna say though this is an easy pickup for me. It definitely depends on that price point and that performance. But yep. I could see this being good. But
they say it's like 200, but they say it's like 299. Oh, I'm grabbing it day one.
If it's there, listen. If it's 299, oh, that's an easy pre-order. But also, there's no way it's 299.
You never.
There's
know,
no way.
Hey, we'll come back to it. If they show the price, we'll immediately do like a bonus episode, and we'll be like, oh snap.
We'll just pop up on a stream and just be like, holy shit, it's $300.
Yep.
That'd be insane, especially depending on what that performance
way
is.
Too expensive.
Not really.
Yeah,
the Steam Deck's more affordable. Here we go.
Yeah, but the space is terrible.
The space is terrible. I mean, you can upgrade. Like, the highest end one is going to be like $550, which isn't bad for a handheld. I mean, shit, that's what fucking Nintendo thinks a Switch 2 is worth. And it's like, well, I don't know why you'd spend that money on a Switch 2 when you could just get a Steam Deck and just... My brother in Christ, just emulate your Nintendo games. Nintendo doesn't deserve our money anyways. I'm just kidding. For legal reasons, Nintendo, that's a joke. Please don't show up at my door.
Yeah, please don't have the Yakuza in both our doors.
Who am I kidding? If they wanted to, they would have done it already. I have 2 episodes on this podcast titled World War Nintendo.
Actually, we technically got 4, but 2 of them never came out. And you went way harder on those episodes.
Yeah. It's probably good that those got lost. The specs for it, it's a 7-inch IPS 1080p 120 hertz. And then it has an AMD Ryzen Z2A. It has 16 gigs of memory. Base storage is 512, so not great. And then it has a 60 watt battery. So like not crazy specs. So honestly, you might be right with like a $299 or like $350 to $400 price point.
Yeah, because man, if you use Steam and you put like Cyberpunk with the highest performance, that there's no way that game can have that much space.
I think even on the Steam Deck, like it looks closer to like the console version. From what I've seen of Steam, from Cyberpunk on like handhelds.
So
it's cool.
Think, Switch 2's got that over everybody else with Cyberpunk?
Yo, I'm pretty sure the PlayStation 4 version of Cyberpunk runs better than the Switch 2.
Ooh. Damn.
I'm not even kidding. Honestly, they might even look the same. They might even run the same, to be honest. I won't ever stop talking shit on the Switch 2. Fuck that console. You made me wait how long for mid?
Oh man, I wish they just announced a new handheld Nintendo. That's how you win us back.
They did. It's the Switch 2. It's just not good. It's not worth the money. I'm sorry, you're telling me you're gonna spend $400 or $500 for a console that has damn near the same performance as one that came out in 2013? Fuck off. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, sorry. Technically, I would probably equate it closer to like a PS4 Pro, but still. Oh god, that shit pisses me off. And the people just blindly wanting to buy it piss me off even more, honestly. Like the people who blindly went out and like made sure the Switch 2 sold out everywhere, they piss me off more than Nintendo themselves for doing it. Like, you're letting them get away with it. If y'all can just like get over your FOMO for just a little bit and just hold out, guarantee you Nintendo would drop that price. Simple fucking supply and demand. Anyways, we're talking about Xbox. It's Xbox time, not Nintendo's.
Yes.
The first game I put on the notes. We do glaze Xbox. The first game I wanted to talk about was Outer Worlds 2. Our first look at it since they announced it. I started playing the first one finally. Again, I didn't have an Xbox. I had a pretty shit PC, so I never got around to it. So I finally started playing the first one. I'm liking it so far. I haven't made it that far. First one's cool.
Oh man.
Second one though looks like a sequel. Like it looks like they're just amping things up.
Yes, like it looks like it's going to be hilarious because the game is low key hilarious. Like there's so many damn jokes in that.
I've heard Obsidian has some really good like and funny writing in the Outer Worlds.
Yeah, and plus it's one of the few games where you can kill almost everybody and I don't
go
think
full renegade route.
Yep, full renegade. So, not many returning characters. It seems like it's a whole separate story, which is cool.
Like
I'm
that.
cool with that. Like,
that's one of my favorite things about like what Bethesda does with like Fallout or Skyrim or Elder Scrolls. Like just kind of like they're part of a series, but it's like no, you're not continuing necessarily. You kind of get to start fresh. Experience something new. It looks good graphically, looks good. The gameplay wise, the different abilities we get to see in the trailer looked really fun. So I'm interested now that I'm finally playing the first one. I'm interested to see how much, how much you can really play around with builds in the Outer Worlds. Because I didn't really hear a whole lot of people talking about like the different builds you can do in the first game, but in this one, the amount of weapons there are and abilities that we see in just this first trailer alone looks like it's cranked up to 11. So I'm excited. It's also going to be, all these games that we talk about are going to be on Game Pass. Also Outer Worlds 2, I forgot, coming out this October. Another game for this.
Yeah.
For this year.
Man, October's going to be stacked, man.
Gaming season.
Yep, gaming season. Oh, now can we just go from positive to negative?
Oh no, why? What's negative?
Talk about. Okay, so right before I hopped off, I had a conversation with somebody in the music industry about the Carter 6, and boy.
Oh, save it. We got some more gaming shit to talk about. We'll talk about Carter. We'll talk about Carter.
Oh, almost forgot. Like also another Xbox exclusive Wu-Tang, The Deceiver. This is
Thank you.
Another game from Wu-Tang. Also talked about that with exclusive music from Just Blaze, which is pretty epic, and plus it's one of the few games to feature all of the members of Wu-Tang, which is kind of cool.
I'm interested to see if this is going to be like a classic Wu-Tang game or if they're going to go for something new. Like,
the gameplay footage that they showed, it looks like
did they show?
Nice. Yeah, they did.
They did. Like yeah, it's at the it's after the trailer.
And also, it looks like we're trying to save the Wu-Tang Clan members, which is kind of weird, but okay. You know what? We'll see.
Hey, it's a Wu-Tang game. I'll take it.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah, it's not exactly like a
new
side
music.
scroller, but it is a beat 'em up.
Yeah, so that actually looks super cool.
Presented by
So,
Ghostface
yeah, like,
Killer.
that was a good transition, by the way. That was really good. Like,
I forgot. I totally forgot to put that on the notes. Yeah, Wu-Tang got announced. Holy shit. I think it's because the trailer's so quick. Like, it's just a bunch of cuts, the title, and then like 2 to 3 sequences of like quick gameplay, and that's it. And that's all we know.
Yep.
We
know very little about this game, so
that one was crazy.
Excited.
I was not expecting a Wu-Tang announcement.
The crowd in the Xbox One was kind of going nuts over it. So it was pretty interesting.
The next game I was going to talk about is I don't know if you ever played them. The Plague Tale games. A new one got announced called Resonance. A Plague Tale.
Okay.
I've only played the first one. I haven't played Requiem yet.
Yeah, I haven't played Requiem, but the first Plague Tale was
phenomenal.
Well written. Like the child actors that they got were like spot on. Like they felt like real kids. So I really appreciate something like that in a video game. Like they have like realistic characters.
Yeah, because it is always a struggle trying to find like kid actors because like they're kids at the end of the day. But yeah, everybody in this game nails it. The environments always look really fucking cool. They're always bright and vibrant. None of them look the same. Voice acting is always top notch. And this one just looks
a AA game, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Plague Tale would be a AA.
Yeah, because I'm noticing that a lot more AA games are having like AAA quality. Like,
yes, it is a AA.
They're pure. That's a AA game.
That is a AA. Yeah, even like a lot of the people are technically industry veterans. This is their first full game that they've done on their own for Clair Obscur. And I mean, Resonance it just looks like more Plague Tale, which I'm all here for. I'm excited. I like the environments that we got to see in this one. The end of the trailer with the giant minotaur looking thing. That looked really cool. But yeah, I'm excited. Sounds like you're excited. Both of us, we need to get through, what is it, Requiem? No.
Yep.
No, not Requiem. Yeah, Requiem.
Yeah, Requiem.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, we got like 2 games of Requiem that we need to play
now. RE9 next year, and then Plague Tale. There is another one. It's a vampire game. It's not Blade, unfortunately. I was really hoping we were going to get to see something from Blade. I'm getting a little scared that it might be canned. But it is a vampire game set in like a medieval setting. And you kind of, from what I've gotten or gathered from it, you kind of play a Blade-like character. Because it's called The Blood of Dawnwalker. Which leads me to believe you are playing kind of like a human hybrid of a vampire. But this one looked really cool. Yeah. Just instead of being a black man, it's a white European man in medieval times. But it looks really cool. I like graphically, it looks good. I like this medieval setting of it. This like medieval dark fantasy elements. The gameplay we have seen looks interesting. Looks like I'm hoping it's not from a gameplay standpoint, it's not just an open world action game. There's a little bit more to it. Want to see what the vampire elements are gonna do. Traversal looks really cool. Yeah. Any thoughts on Blood of Dawn Walker, Aaron?
Um, Actually, it's pretty good. Also, pause. My food just got it to the door, so let me run and get my food. It's calzone time, and this is where the sponsor comes in.
Oh no, we don't got sponsors. We're not that popular yet.
And we're back.
Um, there's 3 more games from Xbox that I was going to talk about. One of them we're just going to shit on probably. 2 of them though we're definitely going to talk about quite a bit. The first one being, finally we see more of this fucking Clockwork Revolution game, which the moment they announced it, I think a year or 2 years ago, I immediately was like, this looks like BioShock, but steampunk. Like it looks like a weird version of like steampunk BioShock kind of. And I'm so here for it. It looks like it has charm. The world design is really cool. And the characters all look like they have very like eccentric personalities. And again, just gameplay. Just from the gameplay, it just looks like BioShock to me. And I'm all here for anything that takes inspiration from BioShock. There is custom characters. There's fun, cool like weapons and abilities that you can get. And that's like, I mean, we don't know fully what like the story might be or anything like that. It just looks like a fun game. It looks like it has a lot of charm and humor to it as well. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else I can say other than this game looks phenomenal and it's easily a day one pickup for me. It's going to be on Game Pass. This might be a game I just say, fuck it, I'll just spend the money and buy it day one instead of trying it first. Like, that's how excited I am and that's how good it looks to me.
Yes, it is phenomenal. That one, I think, might win Game of the Year when it releases.
Is it coming out? I think it's next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, it could be. Yeah, it could have just based on what we've seen, it could have a pretty strong pull for Game of the Year. It's early to say. I mean, we're still halfway in 2025, and this is coming out next year. So, you know, once we play it, we could be like, we were wrong, but it looks really, really fucking good. I'm excited for it. I'm always here for a fun first-person RPG style game. It has like dialogue options and stuff like that. So. I'm excited. I can't wait. Gameplay just looks so good. All the weapons too. They all have these really fun, unique clock, like steampunky designs to them. There's I forgot. It's called Clockwork Revolution. So like clocks play a big point in it, and there's a whole like time manipulation aspect to the game, and like there's. In the trailer that is showing right now for the video version, there is like you can do specific things with that time manipulation, whether it's solving a platforming puzzle or in combat itself. Like the segment that it just showed, he literally rewinds time to redo a fight. So, yeah, I'm very interested in this game. I can't wait to try it. So, our last game before we make fun of the last Xbox reveal and why I take away a score from Xbox. Hey, are you ready for another fighting game, Aaron?
Yes.
Yeah? Invincible versus? You ready for some Invincible 3-on-3? Oh man, this looks so good. Oh, I can't wait.
And
Like when the
have all the cast members too from the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And when the trailer started and you see Omni-Man show up and he's beating Mark, at first I was like, okay, so is this gonna be a story-driven game? But then I was like looking at it and I was like, Omni-Man's in his Viltrumite clothes. Is this gonna take place in an alternate universe? And then it dawned on me, this is
the latter half of the story.
And even in the latter half of the story, it wouldn't make sense because like that was his like old Viltrumite armor. Like if it's in quick spoilers for the Invincible comic, there's a point where Nolan might wear a version of his Viltrumite armor, but a little change for a specific reason. But then it dawned on me, I was like, wait, this is a fighter. And then I realized, oh, it's a 3v3 tag team fighter. I was like, oh, this is gonna be gas.
Oh yeah.
I need I need to see what this and there's fatalities. I need to see what this roster is actually going to be hitting for. Cuz the footage that we saw of like gameplay, we just saw the same few characters. We saw the one Viltrumite chick with the braid, Bulletproof, Adam Eve, Invincible, Nolan, and I think that's it. I think that's the only characters we've seen. I don't know if they've confirmed any others yet. But yeah, I'm excited.
Conquest and Oliver.
Yeah, I need Conquest and Oliver. I need the Mauler twins, so I can have them beat the fuck out of Oliver. I need Battle Beast. Battle Beast has to be in this game. If they try to do some,
be voiced by Michael Dorn again, because that was like perfect casting.
Yeah, Damien Darkblood. I need Damien in here. Cecil. I want Cecil to be in here so I can beat the fuck out of him. Monster Girl. Monster Girl needs to be in here. And Rex. Like, those are, like... If I had to pick my dream characters for launch of the game, because I'm sure, like, we'll get certain characters at the launch, and then they'll have DLC rounds for characters. Launch characters, I need Rex, Mauler Twins, Battle Beast, fuck, who else was I naming? Monster Girl, and damn, what's his name? Oh god, why am I blanking on his name? Aaron Paul, the one Aaron Paul voiced last season. Why am I blanking on his name? I can't believe I'm blanking on it. Damn it. Oh, fuck. Invincible fans are going to roast me. But,
hey, no worries,
yeah.
Man.
I need... Those are like my 5, like, those are who I need for sure at launch.
Definitely.
Man.
I know that
this
game.
is... Go ahead.
Oh no, I was like, this game is gonna be gas once it comes out. That is definitely a buy.
Yeah, this is day one. Oh, you know what? We gotta talk to Dark Raven, and we gotta all set up a time to jump on stream when this shit drops and just go band for band. See who's the best. Now for...
I will make sure that Mark doesn't take an L in that game.
Right? I'm gonna make sure to just like learn all of Mark's movesets and become like the best Mark I can, just so he doesn't take any more L's. Oh,
Yep.
damn. Before we move on to give a score to Xbox for this showcase, we gotta talk about it, because this pissed me off. So,
Oh boy.
as always, you know, at the end of these shows, whether it's Jeff Keighley or PlayStation's head, or it's Homeboy for Xbox, they always talk about, you know, we've seen a lot of great games, blah, blah, blah. Thank you for joining us. We got one more special announcement. I was like, oh shit, all right, here we go. Is this Blade? Are we going to see Blade? Wasn't Blade. And I was like, okay, what is this? I was like, this world kind of looks interesting graphically. Like, this cinematic looks really fucking cool. And the dude they got to be, like, the actor they got, I was like, oh, I love him. I know him from Heroes. Deep cut. But I was like, this is really interesting. And I was watching the Black Hokage stream for the showcase. And his stream was like saying, was naming Quantum Break. Like it might be a Quantum Break sequel. I was like, oh, that'd be gas. I was like, that'd be an announcement worth like the final one. But it just kept going. And everybody was I think everybody was just confused on what we were watching. And then it's revealed it's fucking Call of Duty Black Ops 7. To waste your final reveal for your showcase after a week of bangers and after a showcase of bangers to be a Call of Duty Black Ops 7 when we just got Black Ops 6, I'm sorry, that's an L. That is a gigantic L. For that,
big ass L.
For that, I'm taking this showcase from an A to a B. Like, you're losing a point. Honestly, you damn near... I should honestly put State of Play above you at that point. How dare you? That just feels, like, disrespectful. You have so many games that you could have shown us that have been hinted at or only just announced and we haven't seen in years, and you choose to tell us about Black Ops 7? Get the fuck out of here. Oh, that pissed me off. I was so pissed. Aaron, you picking up Black Ops 7?
Nope.
Nope. Good. You know what I will do?
Picked up a Call of Duty game since Black Ops 2.
You know what I will do? If I'm really that interested in it, I'll play it on Game Pass. I ain't buying that shit. I'm never buying a Call of Duty game ever again. The last COD I bought was in 2019 when they first remade Modern Warfare, and I regret that. It's one of the only purchases I've ever regretted buying. Because that game fucking sucked. All the maps looked the same. The spawns were still atrocious as always. The guns felt terrible. I hated Modern Warfare in 2019. So, as Aaron pointed out before we started talking about this showcase, we do glaze Xbox, but we are also reasonable glazers. And Xbox, that was an L. Don't ever do that again. Like, you could have shown us Blade, like anything from Blade. I would have taken anything, even if it was just concept art and them talking about, like, people at Arcane just saying, hey, we're still working on it. It's still here. We're not quite ready to show you, like, gameplay yet, but we will have something in the future. It could have been that. It could have been anything. It could have fucking been it could have been another announcement for Elder Scrolls 6 where you just show me landscape, and I would have been better off than you showing me a COD. Fuck you.
Oh, what about League of Legends?
Yeah, they could have, honestly, no, they genuinely could have showed me League, and I would have been okay with it. That genuinely had me so heated. Man, this is a long show. But we're almost done. We only got a couple things for movies, TV, and then we just got one thing for music. The first thing is Marvel. We've talked about them quite a bit this episode already. But they announced that Doomsday, Answer Your Orders were both being pushed back Doomsday, instead of being released in May 2026, it will now come out in December 2026 and compete directly with Dune Messiah. So that should be fun. Have another Barbenheimer moment at the theaters. And then same with Secret Wars, instead of May 2027, it is coming out December 2027. I don't think this is that shocking for anybody. Like, I think we all expected.
They got like 2 films that they got to fit in between. And I mean, like, it makes sense with Spider-Man. I wonder what that next one that they haven't announced yet. That's the one that I'm curious.
Yeah. Well, it also just makes sense because, like, they just started filming Doomsday in March? Like, and you wanted this to come out in May of 2026? There's no way. No fucking way that's gonna happen. So I think the writing was on the wall. So, like, it's unfortunate bad news for Marvel, but it makes sense, and I'd rather you push it back, take your time on Doomsday, rather than try to make that May date happen. The other bad news for Marvel is Marvel Studios is skipping out on Hall H, so they will not be at Comic-Con this year, which... Interesting choice. I think they kind of need a Hall H presentation.
Yeah,
honestly,
especially what's going on, because they got like a few Disney Plus shows that they need to really promote.
They haven't even promoted Ironheart, and I'm pretty sure that comes out this week.
Yeah, it comes out this week. Like, I know they didn't want to step on Ryan Coogler's toes, and now I'm starting to see a little bit promotion with Ryan Coogler.
But like,
so I think that's why.
My thing is, you wouldn't have even stepped on his toes. Imagine Sinners is now the highest grossing original film in like what 15 years or 20 years.
Yep.
And
20,
like
2 years actually.
You have that. You have Sinners coming out, and you have a Disney Plus show where he was an executive producer on. You use that in your marketing. That's like easy marketing money right there. Like, I just genuinely don't understand why they would not market this, especially because like Ironheart, before watching it, it already has a very interesting place in Marvel's roster, because Riri isn't your typical like legacy, like character taking up a legacy mantle. Like Riri, her only connection to Iron Man is she works with a Tony Stark AI after she becomes Ironheart. That's her only connection to him. Like I'm correct me if I'm wrong. I don't even think she takes the Ironheart name necessarily because she's like a huge, like, she's not like Kamala Khan, where Kamala was a gigantic obsessed fan of Captain Marvel. Ironheart just took the name because she built herself a suit like Tony Stark.
Yeah, and she did it for a very petty reason. She just reverse engineered Tony Stark's more advanced armors and ran with it. So I hope that they have that aspect of the character. But also, you know, there's other shows that they haven't even talked about, like Wonder Man.
I see, and that comes out in December.
Like
Marvel Zombies, the animated Marvel Zombies comes out this year.
X-Men 97
season 2. Is that still this year? I thought they pushed it back. I thought it was next year.
It's supposed to be. I thought they were having a look about it this year because they're really trying to fast track that, because X-Men 97 was so good. I didn't imagine that it would be as good as it was, but damn it.
Oh, it was so good. The Punisher special, like their special presentation they're doing later this year, that like John Bernthal is like all on board for, that comes out this year. So like there's so many things that they could just promote, but I feel like Marvel's gotten to the point where now when they go to Marvel Studios, I should say, when they go to Hall H, they feel like they have to have like a big moment, like when they try to bring out RDJ as Doctor Doom. Granted, it shot a bunch of other people in the fucking butt and like made them super excited. It just made me worried. I'm not gonna lie. Them bringing back RDJ as Doctor Doom just worries me more than anything else that they have going on.
I honestly,
But they feel like
with
they have to have
RDJ
that
as
moment.
yeah, like I think that I didn't think it was a shot in the foot. I think that honestly, I think that Doctor Doom will be fully masked in this movie, and that RDJ will just play Doctor Doom. I don't think we'll see his face. I really think that they're just gonna leave it a mystery.
I
And if they
want
do,
you
they're gonna have a lot of CGI. And also, like,
I
I
want you to
never
be
thought that
right,
RDJ.
but
Yeah,
I don't think they would spend RDJ levels money to get him back to cover his face the entire movie.
I don't know. You never know, cause
Think about it, they spent money to get Christian Bale for the last Thor and for gore, and all they did
they
was make him
wasted
gray.
him.
All they did was make him
They
gray because they were like,
wasted.
we're not covering up his face. We spend money to get this man on board. Like we're not covering his face with all these like tentacles and shit and all these
Yep.
prosthetics. It's like why not? Why the fuck not? Just do it. So
But
sad news, not gonna be there. But
yeah, that's
what do you
cool.
do?
Like they probably announced something in New York Comic Con, because
Maybe.
then that's when they have more stuff done.
Yeah, it'll be closer to like some of those projects coming out. I think after Ironheart, I don't think we have anything until fall. So yeah, New York Comic Con could be a big one for them instead of San Diego. The games and comics divisions will are still going to be there, so we could get some pretty fun announcements. Maybe some teases at the crossover with DC. Maybe see some more footage from Marvel Token and stuff like that. But I don't know.
Yeah.
This year, I don't even know if DC is going. Like I don't know if James Gunn is even going to be at Hall H either. Um, I
Nah,
hope he
they're
is,
busy.
but
Like
but
man, like DC has some huge announcements. So you want me to briefly go about it? Because
sure.
recently they announced a whole bunch of projects from DC at the most unexpected place, the Annecy Film Festival. You know what that is, by any chance?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for those that are not familiar with Annecy Film Festival, that's like the Comic Con of animation, and usually it's very exclusive. Not a lot of people get leaks from there, but a lot of stuff came out of there. In terms of James Gunn's DCU, like they made a huge announcement with how Creature Commando season 2 and the brilliant Mr. Miracle, written by Tim King and Garth dang, I forgot the artist's name, but it's an acclaimed run. I'm glad that James Gunn finally just pulled the trigger, because they've been trying to get a New God slash Mr. Miracle story published for a long time, and it's also showing that
Yeah,
Warner
Snyder was
Brothers
trying to
still
set
cares
up New
about
Gods in
animation.
his attempt.
Yeah.
Glad he never got to. God, he would have ruined New Gods.
Yes.
If we are going to New
But
Gods, you know who I really want? What's
who
it?
you want?
Oh fuck. The time traveler guy. Fuck. Adam Strange? No. Yeah,
Anytime?
Adam Strange.
No.
Is that it?
Adam Strange? Ooh.
Adam Strange. Yeah. I want to see Adam Strange so bad. I would love to see him
Oh
come in.
yeah.
I know there's a. It's not Adam Strange. The Krypton show that they did though about like Superman's grandpa.
Yep.
Um, I don't think it was Adam Strange specifically, but it was a Adam Strange adjacent character. I think in that show. I didn't end up watching
Oh, you're
Krypton.
talking about Booster Gold. Booster
No, it
Gold.
wasn't Booster.
Because he's
It
a
wasn't
time
Booster.
traveler.
No, like it was somebody who's connected to Adam Strange, like directly connected to him. It might have been Adam Strange though. I didn't watch Krypton, so I could be entirely wrong. But I
I
want to
watched Krypton. I,
I want to see Adam Strange finally get like treatment on the big screen.
hey, you
If we're
never know.
going,
James Gunn might make something cool. But I
James
wonder
Gunn
who
would
will
be the
be
guy
the
to do it.
voice. Yeah, he would definitely be the guy to do it, because not only is the character very obscure, the type of stories, especially the recent stories, would fit James Gunn's directorial
Mm-hmm.
style.
Yeah. Anything else
But
on the DC front?
Um, a bunch of stuff that is going to Amazon Prime, which is weird, like Batman Cape Crusader season 2, that's on Amazon Prime, and a couple of other
I still
decent
haven't even finished
projects like
season one.
it's actually pretty solid. It's not that
I
bad.
know. I've heard.
And My Adventures of Superman season 3, I'm really hyped for that one. And it spin off My Adventures of Green Lantern, which they show a little bit of footage.
Which is gonna have
But
Jessica
it
Cruz.
hasn't leaked. Yes, so I'm very excited about that. I wonder who they're going to have voice the character. Like, I want to see what the show looks like. If it's as good as My Adventures of Superman, I will be so hyped.
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited for that. I want to. I can't wait till we get footage of the Green Lantern Corps show though, with Hal and
Oh, Lanterns, yes.
yeah,
I
and my
kind of, I
and
kind of
my
want to
man
see
John
Nathan
Stewart,
Fillion. Yes, John Stewart.
Nathan Fillion show up as
Uh,
Guy Gardner,
yeah, because he's showing up in
Superman.
Peacemaker. So I mean, like,
Oh, he is showing up in Peacemaker too. Oh my
yeah,
God,
and so yeah. So this is
James
a
is really
very
using Nathan Fillion wherever he can. Gonna be
and
in
also
Superman, then
Frank
show up
Grillo.
later in the summer.
Yeah, and Frank Grillo, because Frank
And Frank
Grillo is
Grillo,
showing
yeah.
up in like 3 different places now: Creature Commandos, then Superman, and then
Peacemaker. He's
Peacemaker.
gonna have a.
And I hope that
I think he's supposed to only have a small focus in Superman. Like it's very minor. Like his main
yeah,
focus, like where he's like a main focus is gonna be whatchamacallit, Peacemaker and Creature
Peace.
Commandos.
Yeah, I actually like the fact that James Gunn is using the animation and live action to tell these stories. So
Hmm.
I applaud that. I'm happy about that. I'm glad that James Gunn is putting some focus on the animation front because Warner Bros. Been slipping on that.
It is funny though, seeing Frank come back in Peacemaker season 2, but then looking at his animated version because they make his hair look a lot more gray because he's supposed to be senior. But like Frank Grillo doesn't have that much gray hair. And so it's really funny just seeing
Yeah,
that like
so
continuity shift between the animated version and his live action version. It was one of those
I
things.
think there might
It's
be
not like a big
I
deal,
think there might be a story. I think there's a story reason because he was hung up on that girl and he was just kind of got his groove back. Might
right?
dyed his hair.
He
That
dyed
might
his
be like
hair and shit.
yeah.
He said, "Hey, I'm gonna hunt Peacemaker for killing my son, but before I do that, I got my mojo back, so let me dye my hair."
Yep. He
um,
felt motivated. Got a little girlfriend for like 2 episodes, and you know,
damn, I knew it too. The second that happened, I was like, I called it. I knew it was gonna happen.
yeah.
Um, I think that's it for Marvel DC for this episode. The only other thing I really put on for our movies, TV, anime at this time, maybe we'll have more to talk about later. This episode was always more focused on gaming just because of the fucking Summer Games Fest, State of Play, and Xbox showcase. The only other thing I put on here was the Crunchyroll Awards, and mostly just so I can bitch for a second.
Oh,
Because
the solo leveling glazing.
yes, the solo leveling glazing. Now, I do not have a problem with solo leveling. I think solo leveling is fine. I think it's good. Season 1 is very, in my opinion, very mid. Season 2 is really where the show takes off. But it is just another kind of action-oriented anime. It's aura farming, and that's it. There's not a whole lot of depth to it. Character motivations are just there. They exist to serve the quote-unquote plot. It winning best new series, whatever, don't care. Winning best English voice actor is insane to me. That not going to either of the Dawn to Dawn leads, not going to a free Ren, insane. Like those three voice actors deserve it far more. I'm sorry. I don't think
Okay.
Jinwoo, like, I don't think his voice actor is bad by any stretch of the imagination. Like, let me preface
Alex Lee
this,
is
people.
dope.
Let me preface this, people. Me saying that somebody should have won over somebody else is not me saying that person is bad. Like, just because I say one thing doesn't mean the opposite. I feel like it's really shitty. I feel like today we always have to preface just because I say something deserved it more than the other. People automatically like to be like, oh, that means you think it's bad. No, dipshit. This other thing's just better. Like, best main character, that's easily Frieren. Frieren is absolutely a better character than Jinwoo. The complexities of her character, the idea of this person who cannot die, existing and understanding they cannot die, so they just let the world pass them by, and then realizing what they lost because they allowed themselves just to move through time. Like it was just a minute. Like the idea of Frieren and like what that story has at its core of cherish the moments no matter how small, because time is so fast, and for a character who is basically immortal and just lives, not having that sense of time until much later after 100 years, and looking back on those memories and realizing that they weren't really a participant and they were just kind of gliding through life because it was just mere minute of their lifespan, is so incredible. And Frieren does such a good job at conveying that. Best score also went to Solo Leveling, which is crazy. The Frieren score, the Dandadan score, I've heard the Apothecary's score. All of those phenomenal. Ending scene, I don't know, what do they mean specifically by ending scene? Do they mean like of the season, or are they talking about like the ending, like credits?
Ending credits.
Ending credits. Okay, I can give that to Solo Leveling. That's fine. Free Win didn't like lose out on like not winning anything. It won best director, best background art, best drama, and then best supporting character went to Fern, which absolutely deserved. I think Fern might be, by the time I'm like 6 episodes away, because I've been pacing myself through Free Ren because it's just that good. I don't want it to end. By the end, I think Fern's gonna be my favorite character in the show. She's phenomenal.
Yes.
She is a phenomenal character. She is like, when I'm writing characters, and I'm specifically writing a female character in one of my stories, there are specific characters in media that I look to and to try to gauge on how I should be writing female characters. Those being Ahsoka Tano from Clone Wars, Toph Beifong from Avatar: Last Airbender, Katara from Avatar: Last Airbender, and honestly, now probably Fern. They're also brilliantly written, and their development is fantastic. Don to Don also won a couple awards. They got best character design, W. I think easily Don to Don has the best character design. It's always so fun and colorful, and the first time Okarun transforms into that form is incredible. Best OP obviously went to Creepy Nuts. I mean, did we think anything was gonna beat that shit? That became a cultural phenomenon, and they did it again. Have you heard their newest one for Call of the Night season 2?
Afrobeats,
Yeah, the Afrobeat. Who the fuck gave them an Afrobeat? Cause do it again. Keep giving them Afrobeats. Holy shit, that's a banger.
Yes, man. Like, so I have a reason why Solo Leveling dominated. Because if you really think about it, a lot of those shows that are nominated are not Crunchyroll exclusive shows. Wink,
Yeah.
wink.
I mean, I watched Freer and Don to Don both on Netflix. I didn't watch them on Crunchy.
Yeah, because don't forget that that America us, we get the English dubs first before Crunchyroll gets it. So I mean, like,
Hmm.
I think it's a political reason, but you know what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
that's the
think
other
that's
thing.
why because
That's the other thing
it's
about
kind of
this.
like
Sorry to interrupt. I was just gonna add to that. That's the other thing about you bringing up like it's probably because it's an America Central thing. Is like if you go and look at like the one that Japan holds for anime, Freerun dominated. Like Freerun dominated that. Soul Leveling didn't, but here in the states it did.
yep,
But continue.
yeah. So it's kind of like the Kids Choice Awards, but you always know that SpongeBob is going to win every time because,
Yep.
the network is going to support their own. Like, honestly, Fearon should have won a lot more because, it's Madhouse. And Madhouse don't release like 26 episode anime very often, so they're going to dominate
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Like, I hope the Anime Awards is going to be crazier next year because we getting a manga accurate Ghost in the Shell. We're getting a One Piece remake by
Which means I
by
might
Wit
actually start
Studio.
watching One Piece.
Yes, and the pacing's going to be a lot better, so you don't have
Yep.
to watch 1,000 episodes.
Yep.
Um, we're getting Theron's season 2 already,
Oh, I'm so excited.
which is great. However, it's not going to be Madhouse anime, but that's okay because this part of the story is a little bit more mellow. I'm
The
okay with
entire
that.
one of the things I love about Free Run is it's just mellow. It's a nice, cozy, just sit down and enjoy it. But like, it has so much depth to it. Like if you really sit down and just take your time with it and really like look at Free Run for what it is, there's so much to it. There's so much depth in like perspectives to this show that like I don't see how you can look at it and be like, oh, this show it's mid or it's not that great. It doesn't deserve to win awards, blah blah blah. Because like the writing, the voice acting, the animation, everything, the music. Have you ever turned on like the OST for it? I turned it on while playing Baldur's
Yes.
Gate 3 one day. Holy shit. The perfect like fantasy soundtrack.
And can we talk about the English dub of Fearon? Oh my god. The voice actress that they got for Fearon, the chef's kiss. My goodness. I have
Ara,
never
kill
seen so
yourself.
many that and also the the MILF allegations and stuff like that, like the great show or the good boy. Oh my god, that has got yeah. So
Yeah.
so it was crazy.
And then the last one, Don 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 one, was best opening sequence, which I feel like if you're gonna win best, like OP, you should probably also be winning best opening sequence. But I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it's weird to make those separate. Um, and then Magic and Muscles won best comedy. Fair. I don't really disagree with that. I'm still on season 1 of it, but yeah, I think that's fair. And then Spy Family wins Must Protect at All Costs because of
Yep.
little
That
one.
little girl,
Yeah. Which
Aya. Poor Aya.
I still haven't even finished season 2. I love Spy Family. For some reason, though, I just haven't gotten through season 2. I don't know what it is. I feel like it kind of like
There's too many
falters in the
anime,
middle.
man.
That too. There's just too much anime. But I feel like season 2 just kind of falters. Like it just drops a little bit towards the middle of season 2 before it picks back up. Um, but any other takeaways from the anime awards? When I was looking at
Um,
like the actual website, I going through it, I was like, okay, yeah, I think I hit everything I wanted to for my personal taste. But I don't know if there was anything you saw during the Crunchyroll awards.
I, honestly, with the Crunchyroll Awards, I already know who's gonna win what. It was
Yeah,
very predictable. I wish that there was more like upsets like the last one. because
Hmm.
Crunchyroll's awards last year had some major upsets, and you know, got a lot of people talking about quality of the show. So
Yeah.
I wish there was more of that this year, but hey, maybe
Oh,
next year we'll have some crazier.
I forgot. I was gonna add. Apothecary Diaries not winning a single thing is insane.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I've also heard people talk a lot about Delicious in Dungeon not winning,
Oh
also
yeah,
being
not
insane.
even winning anything. Now that's an
I don't
injustice in
think
itself.
I don't think either
Now
won
that
anything.
show, yeah, that show should have won like either must protect at all costs, because Sensui is like the best character and like he is our precious dwarf, and best
Um,
voice actor too. I think that one should have won.
oh, ReZero won Best Isekai, which I don't think anybody really
There's
like.
too many damn isekais.
I
Too
don't know
many
if I ever
damn.
told you I did start watching it like a while ago, and I only watched like 1 or 2 episodes, and I haven't went back to it.
Yeah, it's just yeah, yeah.
um,
So
so yeah, that's the Crunchyroll Awards, or as Aaron named them, the Solo Leveling Glaze Awards. Again, Solo Leveling's not a bad
solo
anime.
glazing
It's
awards.
like Solo Leveling's a good anime. It's just when you're comparing these anime to each other, picking the one that is just being more digestible isn't necessarily a bad thing, but when you're trying to compare these things and give them awards for things they do well, picking the one that is very surface level on a storytelling standpoint, on a character standpoint, and on a music standpoint, it just doesn't hold a candle to some of the anime we got in the last year. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Dawn to Dawn was my second choice for anime of the year before Free Run. Sakamoto Days
Mm.
was ahead of Solo Leveling in my opinion. Like, there's just better anime that like has more to offer than big fun or farming fight sequences. Like, I'll be the first person to tell you. I've told Aaron this. I think at this point, JJK, when we start getting more seasons of JJK, it's not gonna hold a candle to the first two. Like, we have passed the point of JJK being the peak story that we were talking about a couple years ago. Colin Games arc is kind of just a little boring. I mean, we get Hikari, who is a cool entry to the series, but outside of the Colin Games, Hikari doesn't really do much.
Yep.
The
The only
Shinjuku
character that
Showdown.
is important,
Sorry, go ahead.
Maki. Like
Maki.
they're going to blow the budget on Maki.
Yeah.
That's
I
pretty
hope
much
they
it.
do. I hope they do. If they're smart. If they're smart, they do.
But
Um,
Mappa is they're going to focus on Chainsaw Man. That's their main focus,
yeah.
especially
Well, I
when
think that's their next
Anime
one.
Expo happens.
I
Yeah,
think
the
Chainsaw Man is their
Chainsaw
next
Man
one.
movie and season 2.
Hmm. And then it's,
Because
I think
season
after
2 has not
those,
come out yet.
I think after those, it's then, I think they'll probably, their main focus will go back to JJK.
Yep.
But yeah, like JJK, I'll be honest. If that starts winning awards too, I will talk shit on Crunchyroll awards again because it. I don't think.
JJ
Who knows?
Glazing.
Who knows? Maybe Mappa does something. Maybe they change some stuff around in the anime version that like
Or add more stuff.
does make me feel differently. But like, just based off of what happens next in the manga, the peak point of JJK is over. JJK at that point just becomes for fights. Whereas, like, sure, in the first 2 seasons you're there for fights as well, but like, there's still so many story elements, and you're learning this world and how jujutsu works. That like, there's so much more interesting things than just those big fun fights. That
Yes,
I feel
and we
now
need
are
to
just
know
gonna go by the
Itadori.
wayside.
Yes, and also we need to figure out if Itadori is gonna go with that tall girl. We never get an answer. We need these answers because Gege never gave us the answer. I really thought
Gege
he
didn't
was
care
gonna
about the
know
story.
that.
That's the thing. Like, he just didn't care. And I'm like, brother, why were you still working on it? Like, were you being forced by Shonen Jump to like continue this story? Because like, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
if I hate a
I
story I'm
have a
working
feeling
on, I'm
that.
done. Like, I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah, yeah, he should have just ended at a certain point. But hey, I mean, like at least it went off at the rate it did. Like Kaiju number 8, it's ending on a high and kept it real. You know what? I respect that. You know, the shonen today was not like it was back in the day. We're not getting 500 plus chapters. We're lucky if we get like 300.
You know what's crazy is like last year we had two massive shonen manga and both had lackluster endings. JJK and My Hero.
Yep.
Like the fall off for both of those kind of needs to be studied for future
You know what?
references.
The fact that not JJ, My Hero Academia had like 4 epilogues right after the final chapter
I
kind of
saw
sets it
that.
up.
I never read it. I had a couple things spoiled for me from the manga and like future seasons of the anime, but like the beginning of season 4 of the anime fucking killed my momentum to watch that show. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm so over it. I was like, I have
Yeah,
not like
that's
genuinely enjoyed My Hero since the um, arena arc when they're competing.
yeah. But I am happy about the spinoff Vigilantes. I
I heard
actually like
Vigilantes was good. I heard
Oh yeah,
Vigilantes was
it's
good.
real good. Like, I know a lot of people are gonna glaze Vigilantes because the story's a lot better. It takes place before the series. It doesn't go through the tropes, and you know there's certain links in that show that makes the ending a little bit better for original My Hero. But hey, I mean, it's cool for what it
Yeah.
is.
So Crunchyroll Awards,
Plus, you know,
kind of shit. But
well,
lots of good
also
manga
you
and
know,
anime. Go ahead.
also we're getting Ghost of Tsushima anime,
We are.
which I
Hopefully we'll
mentioned
see
earlier,
something
by the way.
soon. Hopefully we'll see
Yes,
something. You know
because
what I want them to do with
it's
it
anime.
though?
Do you
Because
think
we're
it's gonna be
getting
like a Legends format?
that's what I want. Because we're getting a live action Ghost of Tsushima film. I want the anime to be because they did that's what they called their co-op mode was Legends. I want them to do that but for the anime. So like it's just a kind of anthology series. Um
Hmm.
I think that would be the best route for Ghost of Tsushima, especially because that's what Sucker Punch is doing in the games. The games are basically an anthology
Yeah.
series. We're not gonna stick with singular samurai. It's going to be a different. They've said this already. Like we're gonna switch samurai each game, and I like that. I like that
Yeah.
aspect. Would I love to one day maybe see Jin again or see, um, what is her character's name? I can't fucking
Oh,
ever
I forgot her
remember.
name.
Well, to be fair, they've barely marketed it, but I would love to probably see Jin again one day. But like, I like the anthology aspect for this franchise, and I think in
Yes,
anime form it would
I
work.
like that aspect.
Also, if you do an
Plus,
anthology style, you don't have to do another game with Jin. You could bring Jin back and tell another story with him in that anime.
and expand on some of the other characters that
Hmm.
were very interesting, like that one
The chick,
that one lady that tried to riz Jin.
yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
The one that was killing all those people, and then she was
The
like
one with the
an
bow,
unsuspected. Yes,
yeah. I
she
have a.
rizzed him up pretty hard, and
There was so much sexual tension between those two in that story that I was like, please, 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 let them be
yep,
happy. But yeah, no, I
yep.
think I think that'd be really
The
cool.
yeah, yeah. So I'm excited about that. Uh, hopefully, they will bring back a lot of the voice actors from the Legends DLC.
That
You
would
know,
be dope.
maybe maybe Crunchyroll will start glazing that next year. You
You
never know.
you know what would be cool is if they expanded upon the story of Legends even. Like maybe it's not a full anthology. They just expand on the story of the Legends co-op mode, because that entire co-op mode has its own like story to it. So they could do that too. Look at us. I said I was only putting the Crunchyroll awards on these show notes, and now we're talking about the fucking Ghost of Tsushima anime we know nothing about.
Yeah, like we're talking about anime coming out eventually. Like we need our own separate episode. We need to
Right.
get Jose off, off theater mode and back into anime mode so we can start glazing more anime.
Right. I need to watch more anime, man. I'm so behind.
No worries. Like I can give you the abridged version and tell you what to avoid. Like
all right.
like I said.
So our final topic, because this episode is getting long, so honestly, I don't even think we want to spend that much time on this topic. I think both of us.
We're just gonna shit on it and be done with it.
And it pains me. So, fun fact: my top 5 rappers of all time, starting at 1, is Kendrick. Then it's Tupac, Nas, Kendrick, Pac, Wayne, Nas, M are my top 5. Has been that way since I was a kid. Specifically, I became a Wayne fan because of the Carter series. Specifically Carter 3 and 4. Those are what really like turned me into a massive fan of Wayne. I think that's some of his best rapping performances, some of his best production. And I think he sounds the best on those 2 records. So, and then when Carter 5 dropped in 2018, it was it's a little bloated for an album. But like you have really good tracks on the Carter 5.
Mm-hmm.
After the Carter 5, I have not really cared for any like solo projects from Wayne. I think he needed to retire after that point. And so when he announced Carter 6, I was like, it's a Carter series. Like he always delivers something on the Carter series. Except for this one. The Carter 6 might be his worst project ever.
Oh. You know what? It's not as bad as Rebirth.
Rebirth is bad. Rebirth is when he tried to be rock, that was pretty bad. But like the Carter 6 just doesn't there's nothing redeemable here. Yeah, I've tried. Like, I've been trying to go back and like give it something and find at least one track here that I can put in the playlist. I can't.
My question for Lil Wayne is, why did you let Big Sean just wash you that bad?
Oh my god. You let Big Sean, it's not like you brought M on. You let Big, don't get me wrong, I like Big Sean, but like you let him wash you? You let him?
Out of all the rappers that are out there, you could have got Black Thought, you could have got anybody else to wash you, but you let Sean wash. That's
shit. If it was Jid that did it, I would still be like, yeah, okay, I get it. You're old. Yeah, I mean, I get it. You're not competing with Jid. Like, you right now probably aren't competing with Jid. You back in your prime, yeah, you would probably watch Jid. But Big Sean, like, y'all are both kind of OGs. Like, you should not be getting washed by Big Sean, my guy.
Yeah, like, but Big Sean is getting better over time. Like,
he is. Big Sean's one of those artists. Yeah, he's one of those artists. He's definitely getting better with time.
Yes, just like Mac Miller. I wish that Mac Miller was still here because he would have delivered something.
That last album
today.
I still haven't finished that last album because I can't do it. I like it gets me too emotional. It's so hard.
Yeah.
For me to listen to.
Like a bunch of those songs from that era is just it's hard to listen to. So, but yeah, like Lil Wayne needs to start listening to other people because every time I hear his interviews, all he talks about is that I don't listen to nobody. I don't care. But it's like, and it shows. And the funny thing is, you know what the messed up part about it is that some of the songs on that album were recorded 13 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know what album came out 13 years ago?
Which album?
I Am Not a Human Being Part 2.
Oh my
That's like
god.
one of Lil Wayne's worst album. And Rebirth, there are some Rebirth era tracks on this album. Isn't
It's
that
just
horrific? Like,
also
there are
uh
songs from that era, and I am shocked and appalled.
can I say something that might get me hate on this episode?
Yes, say it.
I'm not a fan of Jelly Roll. I really want to stop seeing artists use him. I get he has like one of those stories that like people connect with and whatnot. I'm not a fan. I don't know what it is. I can't get into him. I'm tired of
Yeah,
seeing him
it's
show up.
yeah, he's overexposure. That's why,
Also,
because it's like he's getting featured.
why is MGK on here? Like, wait, what the fuck?
Yes.
Why
the
is
hell
MGK here? That is one of the most out of place fucking features you have on. Also, you put MGK with Kodak Black on a song, brother. What are you
Yeah,
doing?
like what? Or
We just got
fucking
done two
on
years.
Elephant Sounds.
we,
What?
we just got done giving Kendrick shit 2-3 years ago for featuring Kodak Black so heavily. Like, we understood at the time, we understood what he was trying to do, but it's one of those things. Kodak being featured on Ms. Morale has aged so poorly because
Well,
Kodak's
actually,
being
it's aged better because now we know Kodak is method, and that makes it even sadder.
kind of, I guess, in a way. He's still like super abusive and like he's still a shitty person. Like,
Yeah,
um
he is still a shitty person, but
being
it's
an
a
addict
little
being
bit
an addict
better.
doesn't excuse you of being a shitty person.
That is true,
But like
but
it's just
it
it,
makes
it, it
Mr.
adds a little
Morale
more.
harder to listen now.
Yeah. um but I don't know, it's just some of the features on here don't make any fucking sense. The sound is all over the place. Like, when you have a series of albums like the Carter series, where like you are specifically, they are conceptual records. They are meant to be conceptual. Um,
Of where he's at the time.
yeah,
But the
this
thing is, with
this doesn't
this one
have
feels
that.
like, yeah, it
I
just
I
felt
can't
like
figure out what the
convoluted
conception.
errors.
Yeah, I can't figure out what the concept of this Carter's album is. I can't. I've tried. I don't
Okay,
know what it is.
my question is, how could you fumble a Bono feature? Kendrick had Bono in his album, and it was one of the best tracks on Damn. So I don't know how you fumble a YouTube feature like that. Like
I feel
this,
like somebody
he
out there
didn't
is gonna
put
disagree
Elephant.
with you
Oh
on
man,
Damn for that, but like I've also seen a lot of people hate on that track from Damn, and I don't get it. I genuinely don't. I'm not even a big U2 fan, but
I don't.
like that album
It
slaps,
fits for yeah
or that
that
track
song
slaps.
slaps, but yeah, that track slaps, and it fits well within the album. But
Oh, it fits so well.
like back to that one. Apparently, that track got recorded in 2011, and I am like,
And
what?
you still missed? Oh,
Boy,
brother.
like
This is what it feels
man,
like when. This is what it feels like when you start to realize like your goats are washed. Like when Andre 3000
not
announced he
all.
was retiring. Well, when Andre 3000 announced he was retiring, and his next album was him playing the flute, and everybody was like, "Bro, where are the raps at?" And he was like, "Brother, what do you want me to rap
He
about?
was like,
I'm,
what?
I'm like 50.
Yeah,
You want me to rap about the colonoscopy last week? Like, I got nothing to say, my guy. Like, I'm done. I'm just done. If I one day wake up and I have some shit to get off my chest, I'll make another rap album. But until that day happens, I'm gonna do what I want to do, and it's not rapping.
yes,
And I'm sorry, him playing the
I
flute and his piano out like EP that he dropped this year, those shits were hard. Like
yeah.
that man is
They were
talented.
like yes, and plus he did the score of Everywhere and Everywhere Anywhere at Once. So yeah,
Everything
he
everywhere
got
all at once.
classics. Yeah, he did the score of that.
Did he really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, now you learned something. But like Nas still delivered a hell of a 6 album run at his age. Slick Rick just released an
Nas is in
album
a
last
fucking
week that hit
renaissance.
slaps. It's like that's the thing. Like Lil Wayne don't got excuse to make this album so shitty and such a letdown. And the thing is that Lil Wayne has been consistent up until a point. I think
It's,
we
you
saw
know
the
what it
cracks
is?
with Rebirth. Yeah,
You know what it is? It's the Kanye effect. Cause like look at Kanye. Kanye arguably would have the best discography in music if he would have stopped like after maybe Kids See Ghost or like
oh
or
yeah.
maybe
I
Ye.
think
Like if he would have
afterwards,
stopped like 2017, 2018, he would arguably have the best discography in music. And he kept going and he just started to taint his own career. Like I've had this conversation with people where they're like, "Oh, just because you release really shitty albums later on, it doesn't like diminish your other albums." It's like it kind of
yeah,
does.
it does.
You're
Because a
tainting your
lot of
over
the lines,
Yeah, you're tainting your
a
overall
lot of,
look and your overall like prowess as an artist. But go ahead, you were saying.
like like when you listen to the older albums, there's a lot of things they say on that, and it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's the sad part about it.
Yeah.
Like there will be a line that sounds so ridiculous, but then it happens today with Kanye. It's just weird. Like Gold Digger, the last line of that song. Holy shit, that is a
I
self-fulfilling
mean,
prophecy.
shit, just like you just go through like My Dark Twisted Fantasies and then you go listen to something like Donda and you're like, these are the same guy? Like
Well,
these are the
he
same
doesn't
dude.
have his ghostwriters anymore. Most of his
It's just
ghostwriters don't rock with him no more. So I mean, like, yeah,
it's just one of those things of like uh, continuing to go when you've passed your prime, when you've gotten to this point where you don't have the same ear for this production, you don't have the same like rapping prowess and wordplay, you just need to call it. There's nothing wrong with retiring in this game. If anything, retiring should be like something you champion for an artist in this industry. It's something I
yes,
told people
like,
about with Eminem's last album last year, where I was like, he's not saying anything new. I was like, I can go turn on Marshall Mathers LP, which is one of the best rap albums I've ever heard in my life. I can go turn on that first Marshall Mathers LP, and then go turn on Death is Slim Shady, and you cannot tell me those do not have the same messaging in every single song. He is saying the same shit. The only songs that hit on Death is Slim Shady are Fuel because of Jid's verse, Temporary because it's M and Skylar Grey again, who like those two in combination together, they always make hits.
Yep.
And maybe one other track that I'm not thinking of at the moment. Let me go Death is Slim Shady here real quick on fucking Spotify. So it's Feel, Temporary.
are you adding Fuel remix as well?
No.
Because Corday
And maybe
washed Eminem so bad on that.
he did. I'm not gonna lie. I hear people all the time going, because I got into a little like debate kind of conversation on TikTok once, because when Fuel first dropped, and I was saying how Jid absolutely fucking stole this from M, and people are like, no, he didn't. I was like, brother, if you don't think he didn't, like you're taking me saying Eminem didn't fucking like really prove himself on that record. Like M did his fucking thing on Field. Don't get it twisted. Jid was just better. Jid was more concise. He was one. Jid was more concise. He's easier to understand in his raps. One thing Eminem pisses me off about, as he's gotten older, he's started to rap a little bit faster and really prove that he can still do this at his age, is a lot of times he will stay on beat, but in a way where it's like, what the fuck are you saying to me right now? A good rapper will be able to consistently stay on beat, hold his performance, and deliver a verse that is impactful to the listener. And that's Jid excelled at all three of those things on feel. Whereas like Eminem, he proved that he can rap, but he's not really saying much. Like it's a shame. The other one was Guilty Conscience 2. And that's just because it was a fun little throwback song. I like the twist where it's instead of Dre being the conscience, it's literally M talking to Slim Shady this time. It's a fun little throwback. It's a fun song.
Yeah, it's fun,
but like
it's like I think honestly the Carter 6 and not the Death of Slim Shady made me realize that I don't think these artists were all that great, and I think we were literally glazing them for so long to the point where we just gaslight ourselves. Like,
I
the
think
thing is that
I think what it is not so much that they weren't always great and we are glazing them, is that they were great for a specific time period of hip hop. And again, it's comes back to that, like, you're basically old heads in this industry at this point. It's time to step aside. It's time to let these new guys step in. Like, even nowadays, like, fucking Wayne and M are far past their prime for what we see in hip hop now. Kendrick, Drake, and Cole are all starting to age out. Drake's been aging out. I'd argue Drake hasn't had a good album in 6-7 years.
Yeah, man, I haven't heard an album that caught my ear since Nothing Was the Same. And the fact is that now we're getting more word that 90% of the songs in that album is not his. So it's kind of like, man, I'm just like, but artists like Slick Rick gives me hope because his album was really, really good. It didn't try anything like, trying to keep up with the Joneses. It was a Slick Rick album. You get the good storytellings, you get the fun beats, you get sounds that you didn't hear before. And he featured artists from the UK, which is amazing, always amazing to hear. You get
and he's not stealing their flow.
Yes, he's not stealing their flow. It's Slick Rick. That's what you get. I'm happy, you know. And that's what we need. We need artists to sound like them. You know what made GNX so good was that it was Kendrick, but it was more regional sounds that he hasn't done since Overly Dedicated.
Yeah. It was him going back to his roots, but also like trying to uplift artists from his roots.
Right. So that's the main thing. And like in this album you don't get that. And the more tracks that pop out, because apparently he has like 5 extra songs from vinyl that he's now releasing to the public, and they're not all that great. Like you have one good one, and he got Washed by Lil Baby, and I'm like, really? You get Washed by Lil Baby 2 on that album? And apparently there's a Trippie Redd feature. I don't even want to hear it, because if you get Washed by Trippie Redd,
I might crash. I might crash out.
Yeah, I might crash out. I heard the little Nicki Minaj thing, and Nicki Minaj played out for me. Like, it's like her sound just declined. And I was with the mixtape era with her music. And she didn't do all this goofy stuff that you hear today. She was rapping, nothing else. No shenanigans, nothing. Just good raps. But now all I hear is shenanigans or tweets or her crash outs, which is hilarious. But I mean, like, I just need those mixtape era tracks to come back, and I don't think she's too far gone. But if I'm going to have that era, I'm gonna just listen to Cash Doll because Cash Doll gives me those mixtape vibes. Or I listen to Rhapsody and just elevate and
Ah,
let my brain grow from Rhapsody's raps.
yeah,
Shout out to Eric G, by the way.
I love Rhapsody. I love Reason too. Like, I feel like Reason is. I feel like here in like the next year, maybe 2 years, we're gonna start seeing him a lot more. I don't know what it is. I just
Well,
feel like the way he was talking
Reason been
on the interlude in his album this year, I think he's about to start really showing up.
man, Reason. I wish I can talk about it, but Reason is a love hate with me. But that's not neither here or there. But also, Rhapsody did announce that she's having a project with Madlib. I'm excited to hear that.
Hmm.
So
We turned this from talking about the Carter Six and reviewing it to
yeah, we
to,
we, we literally just
to,
like fuck no, fuck
just
that
shitting
album.
on
Let's
old
talk
heads.
about something healthy and not really. I mean, like we celebrate the old heads. We just shitted on the ones that don't know when to stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Andre 3000 stop. But there's like artists that are around that era or even before then that are still releasing classic albums. LL Cool J
exactly.
released a classic album.
He
Will
did.
Smith put out a decent album.
I
It's
yeah, I still
decent.
haven't listened. I haven't listened to it yet.
I will tell you, it's a throwback to old school Will Smith. A little bit. It's not as good as Big Willie style. It's not as good as that, but it's back to those Fresh Prince era. You know, you hear him on Jazzy Jeff songs. You He got Tiana Taylor out of retirement. That's crazy, to be honest. You came out of retirement because of Will Smith. That's crazy. That is crazy in a nutshell. And the fact that he outshined Joyner Lucas is still beautiful to see.
I'm gonna say
Will still got it.
something. I'm gonna say
So,
something. Joyner's never been like that guy for me. Like I like Joyner, but
I mean,
like so much of his music just comes off as corny. Like it's the same thing about listening
yes,
to like old Big Sean for me. It's just kind of corny. Like he has skill. You can hear his skill and stuff, but a lot of what he's like talking about or saying is just comes off as a little corny.
yes. Like his album as a whole don't really hit as like the mixtapes and the singles. Like Joyner Lucas mixtapes, fire, fire all around.
His mixtapes are
Albums,
really good.
he's trying to he yeah, his mixtapes are really good. Sticks and Stones, great track. The album, it was okay, but I mean, I think that Joyner Lucas just need to stop doing the whole Kendrick thing where every album just kind of flows together. He don't got the executive producer to do that. He don't got that
Yeah.
type of person
I
to
also
shape
just
it.
don't. I could be wrong. I don't know Joyner personally. It's just he doesn't strike me as the guy that like has the same like thoughtfulness of like having these albums because like Kendrick's albums work because they flow together without flowing together. Like they're not all telling one story together. But they like somehow if you were to put them in a playlist one by one, you could come away with some type of story together because of the conceptualness behind Good Kid, Mad City, or T-Pab, or Damn, or Miss Morale. Like Good Kid, Mad City, young Kendrick coming up in Compton to T-Pab, where now he's at that top level. Like he's there and he's living that life.
He's there.
While all of his friends that he used to know, that he grew up with, that we just learned about, are still in the projects. They're still being chased by the cops and trying to uplift their voices. To then damn to like
You know,
that bigger overall realization of how fucked not just it is that he's here, they're there, but that's everywhere in America and how fucked it is.
Yep.
And then Miss Morale with what that guilt does to somebody in that place. Like there is that overarching story there. And I genuinely, people can say I'm fucking glazing Kendrick. I don't care. I don't think I'm reaching here. I think that is a very
Hold up.
easy thesis to come away with.
You know what? I can give you another one. Absol's albums. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you, he has a similar story. Like when you go through long term mixtapes, you get to see who he is, and then you go to Soul System, and then you see the tragedy, and then after that you see him trying to work through those albums. Do as you wilt, the guilt of losing Mac, the guilt of losing everybody you love, and then just coming to accept in Soul Burger, like just
Yeah.
coming to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it felt like those albums is just going through grief, like in Mr. Morale, you go through grief very quickly in that album, but Soul is like
And
pretty
it
much
it
all the
hits.
stages of grief, and it hits differently, and it breaks your heart, but also it makes you want to stand back up.
Yeah. One of the things I
You look at
appreciate about
Jay-Rock's albums.
one of the things I appreciate
You have
about
a
what you're bringing up with Soul's album in the contrast of like how Kendrick presents it in Miss Morale is Soul presents it in the case of like taking your time with grief and what it does. Whereas with Kendrick, it's your life. A lot of times, and often the case for people, is when grief hits, it's sudden, it's quick, and you don't have time to process it. And so then you create those coping mechanisms. So you get what you were saying, you get to see those contrasting ways of how differently grief can affect you. And those are artists who like they didn't plan to have that kind of contrasting outlook on the same subject matter. It just ended up that way. But granted, I mean, it makes sense why those two artists have like contrasting outlooks like that because one artist, Kendrick, being so influenced by soul.
And J-Rock, like in a way, like J-Rock's
One of the most
development is
underrated TDE
almost
artists. Sorry.
yes, and yeah, and plus his 3 album run, it's consistent. It tells like
Mm-hmm.
one complete story, honestly.
What
As
was the
a
album called in
paranoid man,
2018?
Redemption.
Redemption. Oh, I
Redemption.
fucking love
Yeah.
Redemption.
Yes, Redemption is like I survived. Let's try again. I like that theme. It feels like when you listen to the first album, it's like a man that has nothing to lose to something that
I just
I got
realized I'm
something
not
to gain.
following this motherfucker on Spotify. I should probably do that.
Yeah, man, you see that
There's so many
seems
artists
like
I
you're
listen to that
the
like
artist.
there's just so many artists that I like. I listen to, and then I realize that I never followed them on Spotify. I'm like, that's why I don't ever get notified when a fucking artist I like drops.
Yeah, but the thing is like the artist that has that. I think the problem with Lil Wayne is that he doesn't grow. The same problem with Drake. The same problem with
I think I don't think it's
a lot
necessarily
of
that he
artists
doesn't grow. I think he stopped growing.
yes,
Like he
he
was
kind of
growing,
stopped
like,
growing.
but I think yeah, Carter 5 was where you really got to see that he might be done. Like he doesn't have anything else in him.
I mean, he can rap. It's just the
Yeah.
production, and also his subject matter is starting to get very limited.
Hmm.
All we know is how many times could you rap about vagina?
Yeah,
Like
how many times can you rap
like
about fucking a bad bitch, bro? How many times can you rap about
yeah,
when you were in
or
jail or on when you were fucked up on lean? Like, I, I, you can only do it so many
like
times.
damn, tell like shit. I wish he had a song like "I Feel Like Dying" if he is going to go that direction. Like the
Hmm.
consequences, like damn, like that's cool that you're being a good dad and everything, but like you just gave that one aspect or a line. I think it was just one line. It's kind of like or just reflection, or hell, he didn't even mention the passing of Uncle Bob. There should have been like an Uncle Bob tribute somewhere. but
Yeah.
there isn't. It felt like it's like everything is like right there. Like the producers, like, man, Lin Manuel should be ashamed of himself for that beat on that album, because he did
Yo, when
such an
I
amazing job with the Warriors album.
uh,
Like the
uh
Warriors album was amazing. You had a good story that flowed well, an adaptation of the Warriors, and then you put this one out.
when I when I
Peanuts to an
heard
elephant.
when I
What
heard
was
about
he thinking?
Lynn, when I heard about Lynn, I said, "Oh God, no! Oh God, no!" Lynn, I've been defending you because for some reason the last few years, I don't know if you noticed it online, it just feels like Lynn gets all this weird, unnecessary hate, like over the last few years, and like I usually would defend him. Like if Hamilton's not your thing, that's cool, man. I don't give a shit. You still can't deny that Lynn doesn't make good music and has like an ear for this shit. But when I heard
Yes.
about him on this album, bro, I was like, oh no, please don't,
Oh
Lynn.
no.
I don't even need to hear it. I'm not. I can't defend that.
Like like the thing. This is his first dud. That's the thing.
Yeah,
This
like
is
despite
his
how you feel
first
about Lynn,
major
like
dud.
he doesn't miss typically. Like he still has a
You don't
very
miss
good
like
ear for music.
despite how you say that you
Lynn
didn't like
is
Mufasa,
Lynn
like you,
is Lynn is Pharrell right now. Like Pharrell when
yep,
Pharrell was at his height, that's what Lynn is right now.
yep. So we're not gonna like this is a miss, a rare miss. Like I'm still bumping my brother's song for Mufasa because that song is a bop. I ain't
I
gonna
refuse
lie,
to
it's a
support any
bop.
live action remake from Disney. I'm waiting because I
Yeah,
work at a
Lin
theater.
Manuel has
I
been.
I work at a theater part time, so I'm waiting to be able to see it for free. Because Disney has a stupid ass rule where like employees we can't use even our dollar passes we can't use for the first month. They're the only studio that does it. Yep. And so I'm waiting because I'm like I'm not paying you to watch Lilo and Stitch or How to Train Your Dragon. Fuck you. I'm going to see that shit
Oh
for
my
free.
god! You know what? Since you mentioned Lilo and Stitch, that movie made me so mad. I saw that in theaters. Let me tell you,
It's
everything in
bad.
that movie was wrong, but Stitch.
I know the ending. I already
Stitch
know the
is the
ending.
best thing. Yes, like Ohio
You
don't do shit.
you fundamentally change the messaging of that movie because you change the ending. It's about embracing family,
I'm like,
and then you don't embrace family at the end. What the fuck? Okay, I'm not. I can't get into this. This episode's already too long. Um,
yes,
before we wrap
we're
up
pushing like
the
3
music
hours now.
section, yeah. Before we wrap up the music section, give 2 albums that came out this year that you want people to look at instead of the Carter Six.
Okay, hold up. Let me pull up my Spotify because I got two major ones. Let's see. That came out this year. Let's see. Let me see because I'm looking.
Mixtapes, albums, or
Mm,
even EPs.
okay, Saba's album with no ID. That one's brilliant. Brilliant body of
Still on
work.
my list. I need to listen to it. It's
Yep,
on my
that's
list.
yeah, that's an amazing project. A throwback. Well, I'll put this one as an honorable mention. J. Cole's Friday Night Lights is on
That
streams
doesn't
now, so
count. That doesn't count. That's a mixtape from like
I consider.
'09. That doesn't count.
Yeah,
It just got put on DSP.
like hmm, I mean the Clips album
Honorable
is
mention.
just
Honorable mention. Go listen to it because it is my favorite J. Cole album. So honorable mention. Go listen to it.
yeah. I was one of the lucky few to actually hear 90% of that album. So the Clips album, that's okay. So stuff that is released to the public. Let's see. Hmm.
Yeah, 2 albums that came out this year that you think people need to
Damn,
go
I
listen
can't.
to instead
Oh,
of the Carter Six.
Sir's Sir's SOS album and Leon Thomas Mutt.
Okay.
Those are
My
those
my
are
two
those are albums.
currently my reigning album of the year right now. My current one is 13 Months of Sunshine by Amine. Uh,
Yep.
I wasn't too big on the one he released before this. whatever it was called. 2.5, I think
Krishan
was 2.5. I think was
2.5.
before.
Wow, he released an album with that one producer. Nah, I gotta share it with you. See, you haven't kept up with that. He released an album last year.
No, oh, he did. He did.
Yeah, it was a
I
hit.
don't fully count that because that's a collab album. I'm talking like singular albums.
Okay, singular. Okay, that's different.
Um, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, his collab album last year. Um, so out of his singular albums, I wasn't fucking too much with 2.5 before this. I thought that his sound was kind of all over the place with it. But 13 Months of Sunshine, all of these tracks, all of them on this album, absolutely fucking slap. There's just something about it, the vibe and the energy on songs like Feel So Good and Vacay, Temptations, 13 Months, Raspberry Kisses, and the final track, Images. Like, there's something good about it. Like, it makes me feel good listening to these tracks. It's also so far in my 2025 playlist because I make a playlist on my Spotify every year of songs that come out that year to save them. So far, that
Oh,
album has the most songs in this playlist.
okay.
And then
So,
I think
out of
the
all the
other
songs you
one,
heard this year, like,
would probably be David's new album, Withered. Love it.
okay, yeah, uh,
And then an honorable
okay,
mention, it's not a full album, it's an EP from a band called Arrows in Action. I think I've been there before, side A. They're releasing side B soon. Um, that's an
okay,
honorable
yeah,
mention. But yeah, those would be the
okay.
albums I'd say.
So
Go
you
listen to those
mentioned
instead of
honorable
Carter.
mention. Yes. Another one, another one. Okay, so since we mentioned our favorite songs, okay, um, instead of listening to the Carter Six, listen to Stove God Cooks. Stop calling me. I'm cooking side A. Um, you get your raps, you get good beats. You don't get all the goofy shit. You can find it wherever you can find it. It's not on Spotify. It's really hard to find. Another great song is "Snacks and Wine" by Whim. That song is a bop right there. "Snacks and Wine," like I gotta send that to you.
Okay, yeah, send that.
Yep, sending
But
it now.
that wraps up this episode of Demented Cast. I don't even know what the fuck I'm gonna name it. Probably Old Heads Need
Unc
to Retire.
Unc Brain,
Unc Brain.
Unc Brain, man. Yep,
Unc Brain.
because that's we were on an Unc Brain today.
No, Wayne's on Unc Brain. But I'm gonna pass it over to you. What is your closing statement for this episode of Demented Cast, Aaron?
Unlike Little Wayne, make good choices. Don't do drugs. If you
Don't.
do drugs, please just limit it to the grass and medications for health reasons, please and thank you. Don't do lean, and also listen to quality work. Play video games. Don't support AI. Give this podcast a like. Give us 5 stars. Please buy Nomad's amazing book so he can be motivated and also get him to MomoCon next year because hopefully we'll be able to go to MomoCon and talk to people and interview people and
Oh
give you the
man,
content you want.
I wanna get a giant booth next year at MomoCon, and I don't know
Yes.
I don't know if it'll work out if we get the MomoCon one. I want to try
Speak
to
into
do
existence.
like a live episode
Don't say I
there.
don't know. Say you will. We'll have an exclusive episode at MomoCon. If not, then I'll be at MomoCon, and then I'll have
Exactly.
Nomad be here in spirit.
My closing statement: rate the show 5 stars. We're everywhere, anywhere you get your podcast: Spotify, Apple, Google, YouTube. YouTube, you can watch the video version. You can follow me on Twitter at the Nomad Gamer, and on Blue Sky, and on Instagram, and on TikTok, and on YouTube. But yeah, that's it for this episode. This one's a long one. Unc Brain time. Peace.
Peace. can we take a moment to announce certain cool things that are in the works right now? So I am cooking up some stuff for your channel.
Okay.
So I got 3 reviews already in the can. I'm just recording those little side projects while, since we had such a delay in our episodes, I was like, maybe I should just do some little extra content just to get
Man,
get
this
back
man's
in the
showing
race.
me up. I'm over here slacking on my reviews.
Man, and it's like really obscure games, like like Slay the Spire. Um, there's this another roguelike which I been playing a little bit, and plus it's just a good way to get back into the groove because we've been out of the game for almost 3 years, and
Yeah.
now we gotta come back into it. So now we'll have like those extra episodes. I think Nomad Media will have those episodes early, I believe, right?
Yes.
Once they're done, I think, yeah. So most of them will
So
be done by me,
if you
and
go,
I think they'll
so
be.
if here I'll just clarify. So if you go to the Red
Yep.
Circle um, account for Demented Cast, you can actually um, financially support us in a way. The lowest tier, I believe, is $5, and you'll get access. So the regular show of Demented Cast isn't going anywhere. It's not going to be like locked really. What we're going to do is you will at least have 24 to 48-hour early access for an episode. Um, After that, Demented Cast will just go up for everybody. But there are certain reviews that you will only be able to access if you financially support us. I know a lot of people,
Yes.
shit sucks right now financially. I get it. And like, it's just one of those things to be able for Aaron and I to do this and like on a consistent basis, we have to find this nice medium ground. And so I want it to be cheap enough to where you're not breaking the bank, but if you want to financially support, it is something to help us and you're getting something back in return. So for example, I'm working on my review of Split Fiction from this year. I'm working on my review for Claire Obscure, and we're also going to be doing more like, I'm going to title them retro reviews. Basically any game that came out 2+ years ago that we played and we were like, you know what, I really do want to do a review for this. I really liked it. I want to talk about it. Those will be under that $5 subscription. And so you don't have to by any means. Like I said, if you just want to hear this regular show of Demented Cast, that will still be here. It's not going anywhere. And you can just listen to that. But if you want a little bit extra content, our first impressions, any first impressions we do will still be on the regular show as well. These will just be smaller, bite-sized solo reviews of specific games or even movies, TV, that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, so be on the lookout for that. The ones for me that I'm doing, since Nomad mentioned Claire Obscure and a couple other games, I'm doing Slay the Spire. Might do Shin Megami Tensei 5, and another mystery game, which we'll talk about later.